Welcome back to the Resonant State, the only podcast that will be left after the end of the world, after Bill Gates' mosquito apocalypse, AI drones. You can still hear this broadcast on your shortwave radios. No, we're back here again tonight with the highly talented William Ramsey, the ever intrepid Sean McCann, and we are continuing our deep dive into the Epstein files and looking at of these many details of this massive document dump, looking at the intake records of people that contacted the FBI and were not listened to, that provided a lot of information that was either followed up to a certain degree, not followed up, but most of the stuff was never turned into actionable intelligence or any type of legal prosecution. And so, as you know, as we begin, again, it's great to be back here after a 2 week siesta. But in the pre-show, we were just discussing a lot of these factors that are that Epstein was really part of this massive global financial network. AI development, Palantir was really funded, was a through Epstein's largesse and through those that were supporting Epstein. And just before we get into the whole pre-show, I think William's going to talk a little bit about the AI stuff, but I just want to mention that one of the major, very good friends of Mr. Epstein was Bill Gates, your favorite sweater wearing, huggable friend who did this wonderful rollout, if people aren't aware, of mosquitoes in Brazil. It was proposed in 2018, rolled out in 2023 to basically make dengue disappear in Brazil. So the dengue, what happened was these artificially genetically modified mosquitoes created super mosquitoes that couldn't be killed, and they bred like crazy. And if you look at the graph, then the amount of dengue fever just spiked the highest amount in the entire history of Brazil. And right now, Mr. Bill Gates, besides dropping ticks on Ohio, where we're at right now, which also wants, now this is through Google, through Alphabet, wants to release genetically modified mosquitoes in California and in Florida. So these are all some of the friendly members of the Epstein network. And thanks everybody for listening, and thank you guys so much for having me part of this conglomeration.
So the government was the mosquitoes and ticks was government operations. They were studying how they were doing this long ago. They were looking at using insects to. They would fill them up with all kinds of bacteria, other harmful stuff, and then they would drop them over farmland, just like they're doing now. And they're like, farmers are finding boxes of ticks or whatever. So that was a program that they were doing, but they discontinued because it didn't spread as far as they wanted it to, and it seemed kind of not feasible. And they had these chemical weapons instead, and so let's do chemical weapons and gases and that kind of stuff instead. But I think it was during World War II and a little past that they were doing the same kind of research. So it was on the books. All they had to do was just pull up the file. Oh yeah, let's do ticks again, because you know what I mean. And they've probably always been studying it the whole time. So, but welcome everybody. I'm glad that Wake the Dead's audience could be here to listen, and I'm glad to be part of this with you, William, and you, Hans. It's good to be here with you guys. I've missed you last couple of weeks, and that's okay though. Life happens, and it's good that it's summertime and we can enjoy our summers and have some stuff happen. William and I did an episode last Tuesday or Monday. We were talking about more deviant art, which was really great episode. It wasn't my research, but it was true, and I just wanted to share it with everybody. It was about Alex Gray, the psychedelic artist, and his immoral tendencies, I guess. Anyway, so there's still stuff for everybody to listen to, even though we haven't been here. But anyway, I did want to bring up what was in the news recently, which relates to the whole scenario we've been talking about, is Kushner, the husband of the daughter of Trump, who is, is Israeli Zionist to the bone. He bought an island in Albania, pretty much the only island they got in the Aegean Sea there, and nobody else can buy it, but he can buy it. So easy. And when he goes to visit when he went to the island, the leader of the country came on a boat to visit him. So basically, they're giving him this island now, and I heard on the Jimmy Dore show there was this Albanian guy that was telling about how Albania has the most underground tunnels and systems of underground bases and stuff because their leader was so paranoid and just started going nuts ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, and they were allying with China and they were allying with Russia, and so they had like basically there's a lot of underground tunnels on this island that all of a sudden Epstein's not running his island anymore. So, how many islands are there out there? And so I'm sure Kushner has a lot going on and that we don't know about. And why would he need an island like that? So I just want to bring that up. What do you guys think about that? Have you heard the story?
I think it's very important. So he's a card-carrying member of the Epstein network and knows Epstein has spent a lot of time with him and was in, actually, I found one interesting thing. Like he was at a very small showing of the film Les Mis when it came out, I think in 2013, with like 100 bigwigs, all the celebrities, all the film makers and stars who were in that film, Jeffrey Epstein and Kushner and Ivanka. So their relationship on a very, I think, close and elite level is already established. So now that Epstein is gone, it seems like this is another attempt. One of the things that they leave out of that story is that they were together with Nat Rothschild. So here's this Rothschild connection.
Right.
That there's an overt connection between Epstein and the Rothschild family, Ariane de Rothschild, which runs the Iman de Rothschild, which is where Macron worked. So it's a very small kind of clique of super elite people. And
so it's like Rothschild was like, okay, here you go, worker bee. Here's your island. Do your business, right?
I think so. So it's like I think it's just Little St. James too, like an island.
Right.
You have poor people all over the place. You can abuse people, traffic
the people
them.
from the Middle East. It's going to be all that warfare, traffic all the children, whatever.
Sure. Gaza kids, who knows?
Right.
Maybe even throw in some organ trafficking.
Right.
So
you got some black pill sunglasses, man. That's great.
Come on, man. We gotta be positive.
It's I love it, William, because that's reality right there. You can't
drugs. I mean, they were investigated for drugs. So,
right.
I mean, if you look at the really darker aspects of Epstein, it's super dark. And I think it's what bonds all these elites together is their kind of vampirism, their spiritual and economic vampirism, much like Trump, like just the corruption during the Trump administration is off the charts, the self-dealing and inside dealing. So those people who are like talking, even as the media presents it, is like, oh, this island was, used. I don't think they're angry about the island. They just don't want their kids to be raped and trafficked and disappeared. Like, who knows? Like that's what these people's hobbies are. So it's even Ariane de Rothschild talks about hunting in a very weird coded way. So if the information about Epstein has gone, I think it crossed the earth in like wildfire, because the guys in Iran who were making those videos, they know all the Epstein files very well. So I'm assuming that those people in Albania Italy. I mean, it's in the epicenter of so many other countries: Albania, Greece, Italy, Croatia, right there in the Aegean Sea. So they could just do whatever they want. I mean, it's close to Corfu, which is the known Greek island known for kind of tourism and things like that. So they're lying, I think, in the public. Even her story, Ivanka's story, like she got off on barefoot and hiked around there. My understanding, like you said, it's full of tunnels and it's an old military base. Sazan, it's Sazan. So the whole Epstein network stuff is still extant, still active. It's not going away, and I think it shows that these files that we've talked about in the past and what we're going to cover tonight, in as much as we can, are very important.
Well, and just to state that, really you look at the organized crime networks and going from the St. Valentine's Day massacre, which is where the power of the mafia really shifted away from Italians, even though Italians are presented in the media as the main, mafioso. In fact, Bugsy Siegel, Mary Lansky, Dutch Schultz, etc., Bronfman family, all this money. Bronfman goes into Kushner's father, who's doing all the financial crime stuff. And all this ties into going back to what? Lurianic Kabbalism, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, in terms of this type of activity, not only doing crime, but doing crime with the type of religious zeal. And I'm not trying to paint certain people or whatever, but the fact is that these networks, with Roy Cohn, who is Trump's mentor, right? And Trump's mentor was the progenitor or the 21st century master of the blackmailed Hoover wearing a dress in the in the hotel room, and he would host people being recorded, and all the people Hoover was blackmailing, well, now Roy Cohn can blackmail that whole network. And so all these things are interconnected. Nexium, right? You guys remember the Nexium cult with the tattoos and all that stuff? That's part of the same. This is part of the same network, as we know. My dear neighbor, Les Wexner. Hopefully he doesn't send his lingerie-clad assassins after me. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, Bronfman was the Nexium connection. There were two Bronfman heirs in that group. Yeah.
Right, and that's based on hypnosis and mind control. Right, the other series that we were talking.
Nexium is not a joke, right? But they're all interconnected, right? They're interwoven, because if you look at the epicenter of this, you have Bronfman, Wexner, Mega Group, and you have other power players. But we are looking at sort of this is fundamentally the criminal nature, I think, of this enterprise was revealed, right? Where they're just stealing artwork from people, right? You have so many millions of dollars, and you're just some starving artist, you're going to steal their art, put a fake signature on it, and sell it. Why? You're already worth billions of dollars. Why do you need another extra 200,000, 200 million, whatever, right? There is no actual reason, except for it's just that it's this criminality, which the criminality is it's the code, right? It's the might makes right, but it's also this continuous inversionary expressions, and I don't want to go too far afield with this, but the whole Bill Gates and this healing mosquitoes and these weaponized insects, yes, they did it before, but they did not have this advanced genetic engineering,
Right.
So, but just real briefly to go over this, because again, these are all our favorite people, and these are people on Epstein's Island. This is what they're doing for us. So Google's project to release genetically modified Wallabachia mosquitoes in Florida and California was announced on June 1st, 2026. It is an initiative of Google's parent company, Alphabet, through its life science division, Verily. Sorry, I don't have my glasses here. Verily has filed for EPA approval to release millions of specially treated mosquitoes over the next 2 years as part of an effort to reduce disease-carrying mosquito populations. This initiative is known as the Debug Project, a program that has been researching mosquito growth control for more than a decade. And so the Verily Initiative and the WMP, World Mosquito Program. Bill Gates says, quote, these mosquitoes are allies in the fight against dengue and other deadly diseases. This might sound like the beginnings of a Hollywood horror film plot, but it's not. But anyways, so these things, I mean, literally, they killed millions of people in Brazil with these supposedly life affirming healing mosquitoes. They're about to
Right.
drop this in the United States. And these, again, this is the initiative, it's health. Oh, we believe this is what's going to happen. He said there's very little chance this will cause any harm. Oh, I can share the image of the graph. I mean, we're talking about millions dead from the disease they were supposed to wipe out. So,
Just like 1984, where the words are opposite, like war is peace, ignorance is strength, like the inversion you're talking about, like, oh, we're going to we want to reduce disease carrying mosquitoes by releasing disease carrying mosquitoes. It's like, what? But yeah, that makes sense. Like they're all satanic. And the whole Kabbalistic thing, and the Lurianic Kabbalah is also related to the Qliphoth tree and the evil stuff that we were talking about on my show that you were a guest discussing about the inverted side of the tree of life, the exact inversion of the life, the tree of death. It goes pretty deep. But anyway, all these people believe that it's all. Anyway, William, what have you brought us today? These are the FBI intake files. These are the personal accounts of people that were abused.
Yeah, and some contemporary. Like we finished off talking about the Alexander brothers who were convicted. I don't think they've been sentenced yet, but that was like another side: trafficking, drugging, enforced amnesia, hustle that Kushner may want to be the next person. Imagine what it's like to be Kushner, right at the right hand of Trump, who had access to all the Epstein files unredacted, right? So like, who knows what these guys really know? Because the public is just kind of like trying to make connections and putting together this redacted puzzle. But these guys may have the original files and we're redacting them. So maybe like one of these, that's why maybe Blanche is actually in the running to be the attorney general, is that he was the one who oversaw the redactions. So Blanche may be a huge power player because he knows the real faces, right, of who's doing the acts. If you remember, I've stated it many times, Blanche literally said that there were 2.3 million files that depicted death, torture, and child porn that they didn't bring out to the public. So what do they know? And these files are important. Like I said, contemporary. You'll see the dates even on this one that I have. 2024 of allegations of criminality. And they give an insight that the public's not supposed to see. Like, I don't really watch the corporate media, but I don't think they cover any of this stuff. So the public doesn't understand the enormity of how many of these phone calls came in. And you'll see, just to kind of revisit it, these are things that when they asked for these, when Epstein was arrested, it was July 6, 2019. And they had put out a phone number and people actually called in. So what they're showing is people are responding to the FBI's request for information. So a lot of this stuff wasn't acted on. The same thing happened after, and you'll see this this is a 200-page document. It's way too long. But you'll see that after Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested, I think in 2020, the same thing happened. People started giving stories about Ghislaine Maxwell as well. So I think that if just reading through these are instructive, and it just shows the enormity of the amount of crimes, alleged crimes, and the enormity of the cover-up. Do you guys want to read any of this stuff?
Quite fantastic. What page?
Well, I'm on 49. I mean,
49.
I sent you the document.
I've got it open. I
Okay,
just want to
good.
know
Okay.
what page.
I'm just wondering if anybody wants to feel like starting off reading something. We just go into it.
Yeah, I could go.
Do you want to start off with this one?
Yeah, I'll start on 49. Here, 1 second. So, okay, here we go. So, all right. 8/8/2019, 9:23 a.m. on Redacted at Redacted time. Project identity or protected identity, date of birth redacted, cellular phone number, all that redacted. Okay, providing following information. The person was modeling in 2015 at the age of blank. Here, 1 second.
I don't know what your son's doing. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I thought you were passing.
It's all good.
Yeah,
We got
Sean.
some live action stuff.
Sorry. I thought you.
He's blowing his nose. I don't
no,
have time to tell him not to.
That's
Here,
okay.
1 second.
It's okay. It's okay.
Could you give me just a couple minutes? Okay. All right. So I'll start over again. All right. So blank was modeling in 2015 at the age of blank when she met Epstein. She attended parties at Epstein's residence in New York. During one of the parties, Epstein asked her to take a tour of blank. Once redacted, Epstein asked her to take off her panties. When she didn't comply, he said, "It's fine. I'll pay you $500. She complied. She thought she was a very important person. In 2016, Epstein slid his fingers up her dress and fingered her. At one of the parties, two twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, who were involved in real estate, lured blank and her friend upstairs and locked the door. Quotes, knocked the door back open, and the two ran back downstairs. Blank stated Orrin raped, redacted name, and Orrin's brother, Tal, raped a 14-year-old girl named blank, who tried to slit her wrist after the incident.
Right, so that's the Orrin Alexander. I'm looking for slide 49, the one that's showing.
Yeah, the one that we're showing. I'm the threat examiner.
I was
See
on
that?
49. I thought.
Okay, well, your 49 must be different than mine because this is my
wait.
49 on the document, the NTOC intake document for May 17th.
I do. Okay, I have it now. Okay.
I'll just start.
I'm sorry.
Recollect.
I'm sorry.
This one is important for me because it shows the date, October 2024. So, like, this is within the last 2 years. That's the intake, right? So it's coming in, special agent, right? The FBI. I'm a threat intake examiner for the FBI National Threat Operations Center. The NTOC is an important acronym for later on in these documents. So these threats are coming in. That's what these guys get paid to do. Like, that's what our taxes pay for. The unit where we receive information from the public regarding criminal activity, right? Criminal activity and threats to national security, very important. The following information is being forwarded for your situational awareness and any action deemed appropriate. On October 22nd, 2024, Eastern Time, blank, called the FBI NTOC to report allegation of being a victim of human trafficking involving Jeffrey Epstein. Blank provided the following information, synopsis. Blank is reporting that she being human trafficking, it started when she was 5 years old, when she was taken from an apartment she was living in and cut in the throat. At 7 years old, she was moved to Fresno, California, and was taken again when she was 12, 13 years old. During that time, reported she was a virgin when she was taken and brought to Paris to do it in the most romantic place in the world and was raped by 3 men. That's at 12, 13 years old. The men were part of an organization that would take naked photos of young girls and use blank photo where she flew to Ireland for politicians and notable men. They would have sex with the young women, and she was taken from Ireland and brought to Jeffrey Epstein Island when she was 13 years old. Blank reported she was there when Prince Edward was there and when Tony Hawk got married on the island. Blank said the only way to get off the island was to take naked photos or pose. That is why there are so many photos laying around the house. Blank said in one of the group photos that she is the girl in the white tank top, white purse, and is holding a water bottle. Blank reports that she has photos that she can prove that she was on the island and will provide them if necessary. Blank said that she has reported to multiple FBI offices before and they would get her information and kick her out. Blank is currently in Germany and is seeking asylum. So that's EFTA 000386674. So you'll see, like, these are actually part of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. This is like another fact pattern that's clear. Like, very young, before even low, like Hebrewophile teen age, they're being transferred. Paris, Prince Edward, Ireland, and then in Germany. Like, it's really crazy. Like, this is just a crazy document.
Yeah, and you see that most of these things are just going nowhere, right? Unless there's class action lawsuits, which are just hush money, basically, right?
Well, those are the civil things. They're like I've said in other ones, in the documents that came out on Epstein, in data set 12, there's a lot of civil litigation documents. And one of the most important one is Cassell's document, where he says he knows of 200 separate civil litigation cases. And to my knowledge, that was never publicized. Like, a lot of these cases are done. I can show the document. A lot of these cases are done under like provisions of NDAs and non-disclosure, and it's very important that these things are never really brought out. So this is one of the things. This is like this is a recent document, guys. I'm going to show it to you right here and read from it. But I think it's important because if you followed the Epstein case, you know Castle. Castle's been involved in litigation against Dershowitz. He was involved in the original Giuffre. This guy's a critical component in understanding what's been going on with Epstein for 10 years, literally. And this is a document from February 28th, 2025. And he's sending it to Bondi, right? So she just gets into office. These dates are all important. She gets into office in January 20th. So within a month, he's like sending it. This guy's a super lawyer, by the way. Castle, his like CV is almost like the most optimal, legal history you could want with working for judges in the Supreme Court and stuff like that. He's talking about the Victim Crimes Act. He knows Bradley Edwards, who's written a book and been around. Edwards was interviewed by Derek Bros very early in this whole thing. But like, we write you with a concern that many documents and other materials in the various phases of this important transparency project will undoubtedly contain names. So we're sending that to her. We're the partners of the crime victim. And he just says independently, collectively, we have represented over 200 Epstein victims over the last 16 years. So there's 200 Epstein victims. Maybe that isn't the case, but I thought I read it in here that there were 200 civil litigation cases. But these are all incredible. Like, this is going to these U.S. acting attorneys for the District of Columbia and Florida. And I'm assuming, and these are all EFTA'd, right? So they always have the Bates number down here. But these are incredible. This is just one person. So Pam Bondi probably saw this letter, I'm assuming, or was notified from it, I hope. But it just shows how much civil litigation is different than criminal. It's a very important distinction to make. But
well, and Dershowitz, of course, what was his first big case? Legalizing pornography deep behind the green door. Was it behind the green door or Deep Throat? That, like, he's the one that ran the liberal free speech case, right? To free speech. And then, of course, he switched sides. And I'll never forget his interview during COVID where he said, "You have no right to your own body. We will come in and we're going to inject you whether you want it or not, because you are doing harm to others if you're not injected," right? So this is but Dershowitz, I mean, again, these are vectors of power. These are systems. These are, systems of governance, mechanisms that obviously function to certain degrees, right? Otherwise, we would not have a functioning society, right? We'd be in Mogadishu, right? There'd be warlords, Mad Max, whatever. But these are the functioning, levels of the legal infrastructure, the architecture of the technological, educational infrastructure, and these are creeping forces or influences, and you see how things are silenced. So again, the protective mechanisms. I'm sure there's many good people in the FBI, but again, where does it go? Where does it end up? Even and legal cases, right? How many times you go to the lawyer that's doing it? I've I've heard the story many people. I've experienced it myself where you get your attorney you're gonna fight the battle, you're gonna do this, and they end up throwing the case for you, and you have to pay. And how do you know it wasn't a setup? I was attacked by a pit bull that jumped at my throat, right? I mean, luckily, it was crazy, right? The case was thrown, right? I've gone through this many times, so
It happens. It definitely happens. As a lawyer, I can tell you. It's interesting when you're saying that. It brings up this email from Sigrid McCauley, who was Virginia Giuffre's lawyer. And she got this from somebody. It's redacted. This is the EFT numbers there. But it says, you should know that just before Peter got in touch with you guys, I contacted the FBI in the U.S. I think I read this to you guys in the past. But after I informed the U.S. FBI, Reed Jeffrey, I was told that to go to the FBI unit in the U.S. Embassy and take all my evidence along with me. I told him everything and was supposed to go the day after I spoke with you guys, but was told not to because they would take all my evidence and I'd never see it again.
Right. Yeah, I think that was last couple weeks ago we did that one. Yeah,
just kind of revisit some of these things.
And also remember Dershowitz advocated for snuff porn is legal as long as it was done in another country. So he's that kind of a moral man. He's that level.
Right? Didn't he? He also represented the guy who supposedly killed his wife. Right? The what was his name? What was his name?
I do not know.
Allegedly killed his wife. That was the criminal case.
Oh, okay.
There was a movie was made about it. Somebody in the chat knows. Let's see.
But yeah, he got a massage, but he didn't take off his underwear.
Right. That's not what Giuffre said. She said,
thank God he didn't take his underwear off.
He said she had sex with him like 5 times.
I feel so bad for her. I'm so sorry.
But no, it's, he morphed into this conservative voice, right? I'm a conservative, natural rights, natural law, citizenship rights. Oh, you don't, as a citizen, you are harming other people if you're not vaccinated. Well, and he literally said, we'll break down your door and force vaccinate you. I'll never forget that. And that got my goat. So to speak.
Yeah, get your bloomers in a twist, right? But that's based on a law that was not. If you there was some guy that refused the smallpox vaccine in Massachusetts, and if he didn't take the vaccine, then he had to pay money. That's it. They're not going to hold you down. They're just going to make you pay money. That's the only precedent they had. He was interpreting that whole thing wrong. Anyway. Yeah.
Klaus von Bülow was the guy's name. Who supposedly killed his rich wife. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, never mind. Right. Okay. I'm not familiar with that case, but I'm sure there's many. Hillary Clinton, blaming the victim, that's how they get famous. That's
Right, but you have to put that, like what Hans is saying about Dershowitz, you have to put it in even greater context, because now we know he's heavily embedded in the Epstein network, which means that he may have an interest, maybe financial like the rest of them, in perpetuating the shot because he's close with Epstein. He's talking with Epstein. He's coming and going. I've looked up his name in the EFTA files and he's mentioned like 3,500 times. So he's like, it's not like he's there like casually a couple of times. There's pictures of them together.
Didn't Epstein say that he was introduced by Rothschild to Dershowitz? Dershowitz introduced, it was like Linda Rothschild, that's how they met. So like, and Epstein is like Mr. Rothschild, like, or that's who he
Yeah,
said he represented.
there's no question. Like he's
That
on
was
first
his.
name basis with
That was
Ariane
his.
de Rothschild.
Sorry. I mean, that was his calling card. He would say like, "Who's behind you?" It's Rothschild. But let's just. I want to emphasize, and I could share the screen share of the medical article
Yeah,
about the population killed by Bill Gates mosquitoes. Look at that graph. Look at the little. Oh, this is going to wipe out the dengue. Look at that graph. You see that right in the middle? Just going straight up. Millions of cases, right? What has pornography done to the collective consciousness, the collective will, the psychic structure, the foundational morality, if there is any, of humanity, right? The guy who opened the door for that was Alan Dershowitz. Free speech. Suddenly you have pornography showing in mainstream movie theaters. Right?
Oh, right.
Yeah. This is X-rated film. The X-rated film. This is what Dershowitz, he did this free speech case. It's much more powerful than Lady Chatterley's Lover or something like that. Or,
Was it Deep Throat? That was the first one.
Deep Throat. Yeah. A Deep Throat. And behind the, Henry Miller, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. I mean, these are some little Allen Ginsberg. These were another obscenity trials, right? But these are minor compared to. You have the first full frontal nudity in a film was The Pawnbroker, in I think that was 65-3. The film The Pawnbroker, it was a Holocaust movie actually, no thing there. But
and then when did? Okay, sorry.
But that was the first full frontal nudity. But whatever, pornography, Dershowitz opened the gate for pornography, and the amount of destruction this has wrought. Right. Look at this. You have, what is it? It's 18 to 24, 25-year-olds, like 46% are single. They don't want to get married. You have the men going their own way movement. You've got OnlyFans. You've got this. This is the gate for this whole process, right? This is why you have a society. It's like, if you you go open up your street and there's in Africa, anyways, there's used to be like you go to cannibal butchers in certain locations and they would sell human flesh in the village. Okay, now these are documented or books, whatever. I'm saying that if you walk outside your house and you see this, then it becomes part of the social engagement. But again, just to specify that they're doing socially transformative, right? It's a network, but they have a short-term game and they have a long-term game, as well as just straight criminality.
Yeah, just like Kinsey, and they set him up to like start the whole thing that comes later.
It ties right into Epstein, right? Epstein was doing all that stuff. He was doing that statutory thing and the deviant art thing. Remember? Did I show you the one about him with Ross, where they were going to try to show that statutory thing with Brooke Shields? Do you remember
Pretty
that?
Baby is the movie. Pretty Baby.
Yeah. Do you remember that sequence? Did we talk about that in the deviant art?
I don't think we did.
Okay, because I'll try to pull it back up. Maybe it was on a later presentation. But he was trying. Epstein was trying to get this like underage art with the intent that people would be lured in and possibly arrested. Like he's literally saying that. But it makes perfect sense that he's friends with Dershowitz. According to Google, Dershowitz represented Deep Throat's actor Harry Reams. So he was like, that's another like bum he was like defending. And then there was something else about First Amendment rights. So, and then I just showed something where his nephew was showing porn at MIT, and we're fighting over it over First Amendment rights. So there.
But it's a private place, dude. Oh man.
But yeah, pornography's destroyed the fabric of society. There's no question.
Yeah.
Like I'm on YouTube and they're like OnlyFans story. Like there's celebrities on these kids shows where they're doing panels and all the girls are on OnlyFans. Like 10%
Yeah.
of girls are on OnlyFans now, or something
There's
crazy like that.
a lot of them do a countdown to their 18th birthday and shit. And it's crazy. It's a big thing. It's really sad, dude.
Get it? What I want to specify is that there's okay, there's deviants, there's people forced into certain type of circumstances, there's people with criminal tendencies, there's underworld, there's this and that, right? But you do not have this on the superstructure, the overarching mythology. In a sense, this is becoming the religion of our society. This is what you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, you're young, you don't know what else there is.
Right.
You think, and these are like, you're no longer, especially for, for girls or women, like the sanctity of your body is no longer, your body is now a product you're selling. You're selling a product. What, God's gift to you to become a mother, to create a family, or whatever you do in your life, but your virginity, right, is for sale in a mass scale. We're not talking about, and there's a trickle down effect. So we're talking about affecting millions of people in generational level infrastructural change, right? And these things are. Here's the thing, though. These things could not have been dropped in from the top with this much impact if the stage hadn't been set, right? So we look at the 1960s really as this breakdown, and you have these different things sort of interposed, and you have one step, one step, one step. But I don't think people recognize just the real impact of this, okay? And the pornography, what it does to your brain. It literally, like, you are, and it is literally mangling your brain. Okay, I hate to say this anecdote, but I'll say it. No names are there, but some acquaintance of mine who had, an acquaintance who was a very prominent person in certain industries, got so addicted to pornography, would be at home, they'd have dinner guests, and so he would go in front of the widescreen TV and do his thing, even when people are in the house. That is completely reduced to a protoplasmic level of existence, right? So, this thing. Okay, anyways, it directly. It's not just the impact of the girls that were trafficked. It's the impact of the entire societal transformation.
If people are interested in that topic, they should look on Wake the Dead. In my shows, I did many episodes with John Euler, who is a LPC, and he worked in prisons with sex offenders, and he talks about, in one of them we get into how pornography is a direct correlation to their psychopathy. Like what kind of porn they look at is what kind of person they are, and it's a stepwise progression. On the porn, you start with like barely legal, and then you go into the whatever, and then by the end it's like snuffing kids, SRA, like, satanic ritual abuse and stuff on camera, and that's where it goes. And because he also says that psychopathy isn't like you gotta like continuously wear it away, like choose not to do the right thing again and again and again until it becomes normal. And same thing with pornography, like keep going deeper down into the, trying to chase the whatever, chase the dragon of masturbation or whatever. But that it's related to the brain, and it is the powers that be use that to erode our brains so that we more easily choose the give into the urge and not have a will or a constitution, to be weak and broken, basically.
And blackmailable, like all those things. That's why there's so much child porn on Facebook. It's because they're blackmailing people.
Gross.
They know
Dude.
exactly.
Facebook, really?
Facebook is full of child porn, man. It's like a child. They don't even police it. It's not even policed by the government, is my understanding. There was a hearing in Congress last year about it, and like Zuckerberg, like, oh, I got caught. I'm sorry, guys, I got busted. But maybe this wasn't in the deviant art thing, but there was an interesting interplay between this guy John Ross, who was literally the head of like one of these. He was like an MFA or like a mass. He was the head of one of these American art places, but one of these. You guys remember this? I didn't go over Brooke Shields with you.
Well, I know about Brooke Shields and the pretty baby. She was like 12, right? Wasn't
right.
she? Yeah.
But I think this is a good. You should. I don't think we covered this, so it'd be cool.
Okay,
if I just go through it. Yeah.
But if I could go through it, this is a series of things between this guy Ross. I'm trying to remember what his title was, but he was let's see, School of Visual Arts head, I think, former director of the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. It's a serious thing. He's in contact with Epstein through emails. And he says, Jeff, in 2005, it is depressing to see how you're once again being dragged through the mud. I'm still proud to call you a friend. I know you're strong, but still, hope we can catch up sometime. Redaction. And then Jeff sent something to Ross in 2009. Does anybody want to read this? Can you read this? This is really extraordinary.
Yeah,
it involves Roman Polanski.
What page is it? 149?
It's just right in front of
I
you.
got the right page.
I'll read it. Roman Polanski's attorneys are coming to see me, right? So this guy's the guy who fled the United States. This is from Jeff. I might want to fund an exhibition entitled Statutory, Girls and Boys age 14 to 25, where they look nothing like their ages. Juvenile mugshots, Photoshop, makeup. Some people go to prison because they can't tell the true age. So Jeff is deliberately telling this head of the Museum of Modern Art, I want to fund an exhibition that confuses or blurs the line between what is legal and illegal, and I hope some people go to prison. Controversial, fun. Maybe it should be our webpage with hits tallied. Then Ross sends back, you are incredible. This would be a very creepy and powerful, freaky book. Do you know that total porno commercial kitty picture of blank that Richard Prince appropriated for an exhibit in the early 1980s? Are you traveling yet? This was sent on October 1st in 2009. Jeff sends something back within 4 minutes. So he tells him about this porno commercial.
I do remember this. Yes.
Porno commercial kitty picture of blank that Richard Prince appropriated. Jeff sends something right back within 4 minutes. Yes, they closed it off on the London show, Ross. And yes, this should be a web-based exhibition, totally global and totally open as a 2.0 platform for the either ranting or granting of everyone. So look at this whole page. It really is extraordinary. And they blanked out in one spot. This shows what a haphazard job the redactions are, because they blank out Polanski's attorneys, but not in this one. So you can see it here. Well, you can do a little research and try to figure out what the total porno commercial kitty picture of blank is. And Richard Prince is the giveaway because he's the photographer. And there it is. It's this very controversial. This was one of the other, like the breakdown of like morality, like right. Sean's kind of a theme of you. This is one step in that breakdown was these pictures of Brooke Shields. That's clearly like she's prepubescent in makeup. And this was it. It was Richard Prince mentioned above. Sugar and Spice and All Things Not So Nice, Gary Gross, Richard Prince, and the story behind the Brooke Shields photograph.
Started with Playboy, right? Yeah. And then it ended up being a movie. They made a movie because it...
But this ended, I think, Ross's career, this whole interplay here. So what Jeff is saying is that he says Polanski's attorney. So why are Polanski's attorneys? That's another question, like what's going on with Polanski? But like some people will go to prison because they can't tell. So that's what Jeff's like corrosive influence on the general culture. So they're thinking about an exhibit and they're like, no, screw that. Let's put it on the web. Right? The deviant art theme, guys, is incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
In the club. Right. That's, yeah. That's pretty fantastic. And that it really was like a devolving. And then it, she was later used in the Calvin Klein, wasn't she, when she was older too? And then they had the Calvin Klein, the young kids, and the whole thing with Wexner with the Abercrombie young kids and all the tween
Victoria's Secret, right?
Victoria's Secret and the tween stuff for the younger girls, like Juicy and all that crap.
Remember I sent you
Pink.
that, Sean, I think I texted you, but it was an ad campaign, this fashion ad campaign with like really screwed up. Do you remember that? It had all this like not only pedo stuff, but like, bondage stuff, the kids.
Was it the Baal?
I forget what it was, one of
Yeah,
those fashion.
Balenciaga,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, that's it. And that's an example of that sort of nudging. And so like hits and ranks, right? And so this is the, you know, one of the wonderful things about being a human, living human organism, right? While we're actually alive here on Earth, we're not uploaded into the machine. So I just want to caution everybody saying, "Oh, the everything seems unreal. The matrix is glitching." There is reality. There's objective reality around you. Now the system is not real, right? But don't glitch out into solipsism. Don't become Omega Man and end up in the desert naked waiting for the UFOs to pick you up since you're the new AI human interface. There's a lot of psychosis. A lot of people are going to break. A lot of people cannot handle actual reality and cannot handle actual, you know, real difficulty, right? I mean, well, or just things, you got to clear. But essentially, we have, going back to we did this stuff with the FBI and take the hypnosis stuff. The so remember that I think it was Erickson talking about even just like little touches, right? You can induce these type of mild hypnotic state with slight touches, right? So the first Macy conference, cerebral inhibition. Inhibition doesn't mean closure, right? Being hypnotized doesn't mean that you're gonna whatever you're gonna jump off a bridge or you're like a scopolamine whatever. You could be in a mild hypnotic trance or slightly governed or conditioned. So that's what these dopamines, these hits. They're looking at hits. They're creating algorithmic profiling paradigms. They're taking personality differentials, they're taking all the aggregate data and creating clusters of personality types and various situational mechanisms and steering them, right? Pushing them, nudging them, enclosing them, and at the same time undergirding this, right? So this is death by a thousand cuts in a certain way. And when Epstein says hits and count, that means but you're also aggregating data on people. You're also creating blackmail for the guy at home watching porn. Then he can be blackmailed, right? You know what I mean? It's not just the high level government people. So all these things are but the fundamental thing is just the hijacking of the central nervous system, basic human perception, basic types of stimulation, because we have a very novel technology. We have this visual input, we have the extension of the brain holding the black mirror of the cell phone. The cell phone becomes mapped onto your body. You get your hits, your likes. You don't even, your social world, your inner world and outer world are merged in a device that is completely controlled and internetworked. This is what to be aware of, right? So in a sense, you don't even need the friggin' injection of the 6G, human mass brain internet, which is one of their visions, right? Inject everybody becomes a node of the global internet. The same people, but I mean, these are the larger goals, right? But again, this dopamine hit, that. It's just like with the occult stuff in that these elites are doing all these massive deviant things. They give you your little junior version. Here's your little, whatever, your evil Knievel little
Right.
mobile, like your kids version, your tricycle version of elite depravity, but we're still going to get you with that.
Right.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah. It's kind of Mark Passio was talking about a long time ago how the controllers want to turn the whole society satanic so they can be openly, doing the blood draining and drinking and all this and have morality be subjective. That's their whole goal, really, I think. And it's been happening. I mean, Jacob Frank and all that stuff it's a long tradition of that. So just wanted to say thank you to Daniel Jim 41. He says, "What up, guys?" Uh, Trumpy Bear hashtag Trumpy Bear. So thank you very much for that. That was great. So
It's just incredible stuff, guys. It's just not ending. That's the whole thing. It's just like,
yeah, the rabbit holes go deep, and it's all like it's like it's under every rock. It's just just gross. It's like such depravity.
long-term depravity. I mean, and there's rumors about Dershowitz and his first wife who supposedly jumped off a bridge, like there's some suspicious stuff there. Did you see like when Dershowitz's kid died, he just said, "Oh, kid's dead." He didn't say like I'm
really,
undergoing through a great loss and a tremendous tragedy and I'm taking like a week off and I'm going to go contemplate my navel. He just posted something and said his kid is dead.
Wow.
Yeah, so weird.
Well, he's dead, so
Yeah,
you got to be careful.
just something.
No,
Like,
I know.
some losses are really hard to take. This one will be hard. Just said, "Oh, kid's dead."
I can't imagine that'd be the end of my world.
Let me see if I can find this. It's incredible. It's just like, whoa.
Yeah, Dershowitz is another kind of human. It's like
Oh,
different.
here's another one.
Not
This
even
is
human.
this is literally by Dershowitz, guys.
oh wow, thanks.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Well, for the people listening, it says statutory rape is an outdated concept, written by Alan Dershowitz. Nice little op-ed.
Apparently he wrote the intro. We mentioned it at the very beginning or early one from the hypnotism kind of shows, what is it, Fiction to Fact, the Manchurian Candidate. We mentioned this Eberly guys who were involved in McMartin, who had like a lot of really sketchy kind of pedo connections. And apparently, I have to double check this, but Dershowitz wrote the intro to their book. I don't know if you remember that name, but I clearly remember it. It's mentioned by McGowan in Program to Kill. But according to this thing, this is like, I don't know. I'm reposting this with kind of reservation because usually I have to double check these things. But this was posted by Shannon. A new intro, the abuse of it. This is like a cover-up book for M. McMartin. That's so crazy. They all went over to McMartin, man.
McMartin
Like
too.
they covered McMartin and did weird stuff around McMartin.
And that's the main one. You see these, movies keep popping up like, oh, this, kid was, did this false accusation based on the McMartin school trials. And there's so many of these films. There's one I saw that like it wasn't even purported to be that way. And they go through this whole progression where you think they're really going to uncover and blow the whole thing open, and it turns out that the girl behind it is a complete psychopath and has invented everything and destroyed the lives of multiple people. And there's no satanic abuse. It's a complete fraud. It's a fiction. It's delusional. And then you get the mind controlled psychologist, or not mind controlled psychologist, but the psychiatrists are playing along. But the interesting thing about that movie, it opens up where the father is like walking to the police station, and he's like in a haze, and they show like the vision inside of his head. He's like, and he doesn't know he's in a dream, and I confess to doing all these crimes, and it turns out the daughter has been running this whole network of mind control. There is no satanic panic. There's no abuse. It's just the victim is hypnotizing people. Now, on the other hand, do people have people abuse this? For sure. Have people turned, used allegations of abuse or harassment against things, right? I mean, this has certainly also become, the other side of this. But I mean, Dershowitz has just got. And by the way, I did see a comment. No, Dershowitz did call. He said, as constitutional lawyer, you have no constitutional right not to get a vaccine. Like, so he made this argument. It was, I don't have the reference. I saw it at the time, but anyways, so it's covered up, but the way that it's subtly covered up, and then the way that they insert disinformation agents, right, that seem to have all the bells and whistles, abuse victim, this and that, and it turns out they're not, right? It's fake. So this is it's very
Or
hard.
or these people have another alter that is doing what their programmer told them to say. You know what I mean? Like, uh, there are, like, we know, and we were talking about this in the Manchurian Candidate episodes, where there can be programs installed, and when they're needed, they say what they're supposed to say. So maybe they just tell them, they just, do whatever they did to Kanye, bring the person to the hospital and give them the right amount of scopolamine and abuse to make them, shock back into order again, and do what they say. So we know there was a Disney bag under the Mick Martin, like in the ground, and it had a date, like, I mean, of when it was printed, this bag. So they filled those tunnels. There is evidence that the McMartin thing is true. It was not debunked ever. Like, just wanted to say it's not
Right.
debunked.
It's just publicly debunked. They just say it's debunked. That's one of their tricks. There it is. Confirmation. Introduction by Alan Dershowitz. I don't know if people can understand the enormity of this, but the Eberleys are freaking creeps. They wrote for like Padica magazine, which is somewhere in Europe. That's like kid stuff. Like, it's like bad. Like, it's like Nambla. It's like Arthur C. Clarke's box full of Nambla stuff that you and I have gone over, Sean.
Yeah.
Like, really bad.
Well, I would like to.
Yeah, we should talk about Ginsburg
Well, that's a
someday
whole-
too.
Oh.
Ginsburg, man.
I guess there was a new documentary about him. I was like
Oh,
lauding
great.
him or something, man. Wow.
But the abuse. So we just want to state. So we have to look at also the level of cultural valencing or impact. So, like William, that you just showed. I mean, this is a gold embossed book. This is a fine book. This is expensive, leather printing, gold embossed. This is not some crappy, like my, whatever half-ass paperback, or it's, mimeographed, underground Revolutionary War newsletter. No, this is, I mean, fine dining literature, right? I mean, at least, I mean, it says leather, gold embossed things. So, I mean, so this is, this has a certain weight to it, right? It has a bibliographical weight. It has weight of everyone thinks about numbers or impact. There's certain things that have much higher impact because they go to a certain elite sector of society, right? And you know what I mean? And so, I'm sorry, I don't know about.
Well, you're right. Look at this. Look at this, Hans. Hardcover special, hardcover in finine. I don't know what that means. Finine condition, half blue leather with blue cloth boards, gold stamping in spine and boards, page ends gilded gold, cloth book market. Never read. Luckily, never read. But there it is, man. Introduction by Alan Dershowitz, kids. This is bad.
I'm sure they sell snuff VHS tapes with a similar box that's gold leaf and, never mind. Yeah. That was a bad joke.
And apparently the summary, I got to find the summary of it, but it's, it aligns with his skepticism towards certain high profile prosecutions. So the people who were prosecuting were witch hunters or whatever they call them. Man.
Weren't they part of that false memory syndrome? That couple?
Yeah. Oh, well, they were. Was
Or
that the Everleys? Is that
I don't know them. I
the
just
false memory
Guys, I can get
syndrome?
the full text of his introduction.
oh,
They
that'd be
have it
great.
on the,
The false memory syndrome was created by parents who are abusers to try to deflect from their own abuse and try to say that their kid is crazy and gaslight and then it became a whole foundation. They were like, oh, great idea. And other pedo parents were all, like it turned into a whole thing.
No, no. I mean, there's a couple that were psychiatrists, and they actually, but they had published like like some child porn magazine, on the side or whatever. So I just don't know if that was the same. I didn't recall the name of the couple, but it would be wild if they were part of that false memory. I was just asking. So these two.
That might be the Everleys. That sounds familiar. But yeah, it was the parents of an abused child who went and told what was going on. And the parents were like, no, no, she made it up. So it angering to people that are on the side of justice, and, but Aquino was part of that, Michael Aquino and that whole thing. And the Presidio was part of that. And he was part of the McMartin thing. It's all one big disgusting soup,
Oh, it said they're investigative journalists. Okay, yeah. So I conflated them, but mass hysteria. This is mass hysteria. War of the Worlds, right? Mass hysteria.
that's how it starts in the Eberly book. It's the hysteria, So it's basically like panic. It's like a variant of satanic panic or something like that. You guys,
And they conflate it with witch hunts, right? This is a new witch hunt.
They always do that. Yeah, they always call it a witch hunt.
They got it, but they have to seed the moral relativism for that. Then it grows like a snowball, and it becomes a thing that they can.
Hey, we should bring back the witch hunts, man.
I said that in a show recently. I said, bring back the witch hunters. Bring back the witch
Witch
hunters.
finder general. Malus malefictorum. All right.
Witch's hammer, the six hexen hammer, or whatever it is. What's the most famous word? They said the Maleficorus, Maleficarum.
Malus malefictorum. I believe.
Yeah, that was King John or whatever. He used to be the Ireland or the Scottish king, and then
James,
yeah,
first or second, yeah,
right. He was the witch finder, right? He wrote
witch
the book.
finder general, yeah.
Right,
he wrote something like something about witches. He wrote a book.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible stuff, guys. They've left out so much out of our common history. It's just really incredible. They've been covering for Dershowitz forever. Crazy. So that's you could do a whole nother show on the Eberleys, but you'd have to do it with like a puke bucket or something like that. This one, I don't know. Do you guys want to continue on with this thing? This is an interesting one because this is from literally Epstein's brother. Sent something in 2023. Jeffrey Epstein was murdered in his jail cell. I have reason to believe he was killed because he was about to name names. I believe President Trump authorized his murder.
Whoa.
That's not me.
FBI's like, put that one under the rug.
Let's get that put that under the rug, guys. But that's incredible. Like they literally have his name. So yeah. Daniel, you got witch hunt narrative. Good. Yeah. Yep. I did a show with Philip Fairbanks and the great Roberta Glass on that subject. So it's a great book. I mean, the guy's a first-rate academic. He works for Brown. But he takes a very academic and nuanced approach to the whole narrative. I mean, there's clearly that one guy who was in Florida. I can't remember his name, but he was doing unspeakable things to kids. Like you can't even believe it. Like they're not believable.
By the way, just for factology, Malus Maleficarum, 1484. It was published by Heinrich Kramer. And so that's the Hammer Witch's Hammer, Hammer of
Witch's
Witches.
Hammer, that's right.
Yeah, the Hammer of Witches. But I mean, seriously, like that. You look at some of these things, we think these are barbaric. Well, look at kind of the people we're dealing with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that. I mean,
They'll lie about anything.
I mean, I'm like a former communist, man. I'm so illiberal. No, I'm not. But like, look at this. Like, seriously, it's not. I'm not talking about whatever. You could look at Margaret A. Murray, the witch cult of, Western Europe, etc. I'm talking about like people that are doing things they're having massive impacts way outside themselves. They extend over time and destroy the social structure of family. If people like this are not checked at some point, then we have what we're witnessing now. Seriously.
We could at least tar and feather them. I mean, there's got to be a level, like maybe we don't guillotine them. Maybe we run them out of town, like, but we tar and feather them first with hot tar, like maybe burn them while they have it. I don't know. But we should think of something, because
I'm not condoning violence, but I'm just saying that, like, of course I'm not. I mean, I'm the most peaceful.
Of course, right.
Right here, the black helicopters are taking me away. All right, I'm going to, here we are, little Waco, mini Waco. No, but that is I mean,
have you guys seen the clip of Jeffrey Epstein where he tacitly admits he talks to Satan through a mirror?
No, he's doing scrying.
Yeah, he's doing scrying.
Oh, wow.
I'll bring it up. Okay, guys.
Satan himself, not just some like lower.
Well,
minion.
I'll let you take you guys are probably the optimal guests to analyze this.
I've come to
you guys can watch it and give me your opinion.
I think
that's
Satan,
what I would like you to do.
I think Satan is Pee Wee Herman.
At least Pee Wee Herman was only touching himself. Like, what the hell, man? All these other people.
I thought he got busted with like kids or something, or made kitty.
No, he got busted jerking off in a public movie theater with a trench coat. Like, he's just jerking his own thing. Like, at least he wasn't messing with kids. Like, he's the least gross of the Hollywood people that I know of. Like, because at least he's not infringing on anyone else's sovereignty. He's like keeping it to his own. Anyway.
Okay, I want your honest opinion about this. Okay. I know you'll give it to me anyway, but tell me what you think. Listen to it a couple times, like the audience too. I'm interested in what the chat thinks here too. This was something that I was doing with Stephen of Biblical Hitmen. We were analyzing the 2-hour discussion between Epstein and Bannon, which was very insightful on a wide variety of topics. So I recommend people go back and look at that, because Epstein reveals a lot about himself, his connection to Kissinger and David Rockefeller, like really like arch nemesis, like horrible people, like horrible elite people. But this is the very end. So in 2 hours, he's talking to Bannon, and this is what he says. And I want you to.
I told him the devil.
100%.
The devil
himself.
The devil himself said, "I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life."
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
Sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember, the devil is somebody knows.
Smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Okay.
He mentions America Dharma, which is interesting in and of itself. But watch, Bannon doesn't key into what Epstein says here. Epstein's doing a little slight of kind of like a inside joke, in my opinion. But listen to it again.
I told him
the devil.
100%.
The devil
himself.
The devil himself said, "I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life."
Do you think you're the devil himself?
Wait, just watch.
No, but I
he's
do
doing
have a good mirror.
mudras, right? These are mudras, gestures. He's moving. So he's wearing all black. So this has, I mean, whatever. Okay. Just
It's
saying.
interesting you make that observation, Hans, because he's changed into all black during the 2 hours. So they stop and he changes into all black for some reason. So you can look at it the whole 2 hours. But watch how Bannon doesn't key into what he says.
I told him the devil,
100%.
the devil
himself.
The devil himself said, "I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life."
Do you think you're the devil himself?
Wait, hang on. Do you pause right there? I think he said the high
think-
covenant. There's a little thing, like little subtle thing. He said the high covenant. Then he said devil. Right? So there's a little. I just want to see if I heard that or not.
I told him the devil.
100%.
The high covenant. So this is high covenant. So I think there's something. He just throws that in there.
Right, he throws this in, and Bannon doesn't get it. I didn't even hear the high covenant.
The high covenant. This is a high. That's high. Yeah, pick that up. It's really subtle, and he's doing that. That's wild. Okay, I didn't imagine.
I told him the devil.
100%.
The devil
himself.
Told him. I told him the devil.
100%.
The devil
himself.
The devil himself said, "I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life."
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
See, he thinks about it. Like, what can I say cleverly? And then Bannon just goes right over it.
It's talking about self-reflection, right? I have a good mirror. I can look at myself and know
this is occultic. No, this isn't a cult. This conversation is. That's why I'm saying that high covenant thing. That was the center point. What he's doing is hand gesture. That's the high covenant. Then he says he goes some random things, right? And Steve Bannon just changes. What does that have to do with whatever he's talking about? Nothing.
It's a non sequitur to Bannon.
It's not a non sequitur. This is hypnotic language, or also communication to elites, whatever you want to say. High covenant. Devil gave me dollars for a child. Okay. Yeah. And then, do you think you're the devil himself? So all the real information has been packed before that. Do you think you're devil himself? This is like, that's a big, razzmatazz, fireworks. Oh, it's nothing. It's bullshit.
He was just saying that he was speaking to the devil. And
the mirror, he's talking about scrying. He's using the mirror as a scrying technique. So he's talking about going back to John D., right? The John D., the scry, and all these different mirrors. He's talking about occult practices and high covenant.
Right.
What do you call alpha lodge Satanism?
Too. That's what I thought too. Is that he's mentioning scrying, and the reason we kind of keyed in because we were bouncing around other things, and we had talked about some. I've done a lot of series on the deviant art. There's a lot of mirrors in his mansion, and a lot of mirrors in his properties in general. But like there's Bramovich connection, who I literally had a scrying mirror, like a scrying hand mirror. And I think I showed you guys that one is like the dawn of the new age picture where there's a scrying mirror. I'll show it to you, but listen to this again. Like I can bring up the full interview.
But isn't that wild though, that high covenant thing? He slips that in. That is really important, right? I've never seen this before, but he's wearing black, and this is, you have to do this meta-analysis. That at first I thought I imagined it, dude, and when you reminded it, so anyways, like here he is, with particular, doing gestural mudra, summoning rituals, mirroring rituals, and there's a level for the different levels of interpretation. There's a level for initiates. There's also the programming level. Right. Now he's wearing white.
So this is the beginning. This is the full 2-hour interview. This was what was dropped. They're having this discussion. He's talking a lot. He talks about how the real controllers are the financiers. He literally tells them what we realize is that the people with the money are the ones that are dominating politics, which is really the truth. And then all of a sudden, here he is. He switches into black, right? And they're going through, so at the very end, they're telling this story about paying for somebody whose kid is sick. And his hands aren't in that position the whole time, right? So then all of a sudden at the very end, he's in this kind of pyramid mudra. And we can listen to this.
To your house. Vegetable juice.
Let's go back.
Look what vegetable juice does.
When did that? The beginning of that. Was there any one aha moment in all these great thinkers? Did it happen before 2008? Was it after? That came up over, I know, many years. But when did you actually realize, hey, something new's got to be developed?
Yeah, that's great. Is that because again, I'm privileged enough to have people around me who've given lots of philanthropic gifts to institutions of higher learning. And when I said...
See, he's a philanthropist. That's what he's trying to convey. This is the whole purpose of him and Bannon, is Bannon's going to try to revitalize his image, right? That's the whole purpose of these interviews.
The impact...
This, by the way, is 2019. They speculated somewhere between March and May 2019. He was arrested in July.
How do you judge the impact of your giving? And we sat down and said, no really new ideas have come out. And I realized that, of course, it hasn't come out because we've been looking at using science and mathematics, and it's the wrong tool. It's obvious.
Institutions that are set up and try to put forward knowledge and understanding and truth, should they take your money?
Derek Bach at Harvard said, taking money for good causes is a good thing.
So if Hitler took all the gold out of the teeth of the Jews and said, I want to give this to Heidelberg University to fund the Leibniz chairs so that I can study high energy physics, Derek Bach would say that was fine?
Again, it's these questions are questions where good people on both sides, like your Charlottesville, could differ. I don't know the answer to these questions.
So tell us the two.
This is
interesting.
Like the world. It's basically a bunch of word salad, total juxtaposition, like softball questions. Like, okay, if I'm gonna go harvest organs from like 20 million Palestinians to make a super vaccine to save the world, is that okay? Let me think about it. I'm gonna whatever they're saying, it's just total, softball. Yet it's like this Bannon thing is this is Charlottesville.
Right.
The two good decisions I made in my life were not going to Charlottesville and not going to the January 20th protest, man, because I was supposed to go to both places.
Wow.
I'm really glad. I used to hang out a lot near Charlottesville, man. That was such a
They found out the SPLC financed all that stuff.
That whole thing was
fake.
I wanted to observe it, but people forget that had a massive impact. Okay, that was a massive impact. That into George Floyd, into January 20th bullshit. But Bannon was one of the ringleaders, and so they're setting the stage for this. This is the weight of that. And he throws it. Oh, I'm talking about.
When was Charlottesville? What date was that?
That was 2016, wasn't it? Or something like that?
So this is after Charlottesville. But
but Charlottesville was like a major, that's how our medium.
Major cultural inflection point or something.
Yeah, but people forget about that.
That's how Biden got elected. Remember?
Yeah, and people got friggin'. Remember the guy that ran down the innocent guy who was accused of murder and spent 50 years in jail or whatever. I mean, people got insane jail sentences, insane. Complete. People have forgotten about it. It's complete abuse of the justice system, but he throws it out there. You're Charlottesville. Well, how do you take money? What does it mean? Oh, mathematics and science may not be the best tools. What are you talking about, dude? This is where Ericksoni, okay, I'm not saying Epstein, and to me, he's not hitting me as that intelligent, to be honest. He seems just like some shyster, Hey, you want to see some nudie pictures? But basically, there's either it's a disjointed conversation or this is where I mentioned that right before him, right? The Ericksonian hypnosis comes in through these kind of meaningless, chaotic discussions. It seems like just whatever, it's word salad. And then there's embedded words. I'm not going to necessarily premise that Epstein is doing that. But notice, right, because that high covenant, he throws that in there. That's hidden. So right here, what is he saying? Mathematics and science, they're not the best tools. So what Charlottesville is what? Your Charlottesville is what? Charlottesville is a staged and planned cultural, with, people
Looks
with
like
wealth.
September, what, no, sorry. January. When was that?
20th, January 20th. But the Charlottesville, you have to go back in time because I was in that area at the time. It was a major event. And the jail sentences and the police crackdown and the abuse of justice in those trials and the setup stuff and all the shills that were there, right? And all the leaders, that came out of that, that created MAGA, really. They created the fire of MAGA and then the narrative of the broken presidency, which manifested in 2020. So this is narrative warfare, playbook discussion, potentially.
I think you're right. This is like really incredible, but like you can just listen to all the lead up to this. Listen.
Give us the two answers. The one answer why it shouldn't be, and then the one answer. Derek says, I'll essentially take cash from anybody because I got so many projects, so many good guys, and this is the way I'll do it. So I'm indifferent to where the cash comes from. Money's money. And if I got good guys, I'm the fiduciary that says these are good people and this is good research, okay? I'll take the cash from any source, including you. What's the other argument?
Let me give you that. I know in my case,
is your money dirty money?
If you live,
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
No, it's not.
Stone cold lie. Just absolute stone cold lie. His money is so freaking dirty. Everything's dirty about this guy.
Notice his gesture. He does occasionally normal. Notice he does that mudra thing. And he makes, you know what I mean? So he's doing the dirty money thing.
And I don't know if you guys remember, I think we went over the Bannon exchange, the text exchange where he's training Bannon, where Epstein's training Bannon in NLP. Do you remember that? I'm pretty sure we went over that in the past, but could be wrong.
So,
anyway.
In fact...
Why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it.
But you earned it...
I earned it legally.
We went back to this before. You earned it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money.
So, instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question.
You think it's a legitimate question?
Yes, no
Why?
question. Because I think ethics is always a complicated subject, but I can tell you that with the money I gave to help try to eradicate polio in Pakistan and India, instead of asking me whether that money should be given to these children for vaccines, I think you might want to ask their mothers who received the vaccine, who know their child now won't get polio, and ask them if...
Notice non sequitur. Ask
if we walked in,
just call attention. Notice the mothers who received the vaccine, now their child won't get polio. So he jumped, right? There's this non-linear narrative. Either he's really stoned, really high, or there's some, I'm just calling attention to that. Continue. So.
It is interesting that this is taking place right before COVID too. Like they're talking about vaccines.
But that's like a what does that mean? The Pakistan, India, the mothers who got the vaccine are happy their child is not going to get polio. So the vaccines are for the child. So, you know what I mean? I'm saying these kind of weird logical leaps. I won't interrupt.
They're trying to make him look good here. He's a philanthropist, remember?
God,
this guy's trafficked thousands of people. He's raped tons of kids too. Like it's off the charts. We don't really even know how bad it was.
You're a mathematician. We walked into that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
What's tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
that the money came from them, what percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you
See,
told them,
the
if I told them
100%.
the devil
Himself.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
Sorry.
See, he doesn't get it. Bannon doesn't understand what he's saying.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember, the devil is somebody knows.
Smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Okay, we have to go.
Okay, good.
Okay,
That was good.
supposed to be.
So like he's coming to the end here. So like, it's like I think he's when he says no, but I have a mirror. What's you guys' take on that?
Have you seen a devil? No, I have a mirror. I mean, God, there's so
I'm
many.
not the
weird...
devil himself, but I have a mirror.
Well, a mirror causes the victims to switch alters. Like it's used in the program, like in making the victims do what they do. We see that in Eyes Wide Shut. Like she switches identity in the mirror. Yeah, but I think that the I have a mirror thing is like he looks at himself, and that's what true Satanism is. Like they don't worship Satan, they worship themselves, and that mirror is like his whole world is the mirror. I think that's what he's getting at.
What do you think, Lance?
Interesting enough, I just picked up Paradise Lost yesterday off my bookshelf. Random read. I started. It's actually really amazing. It's a very, but there's lots and lots of interesting Greek mythology in there and all different stuff. It's a really. I recommend everybody. It's not even that hard. I mean, it's not super archaic. It's a great book to read. I'll just grab it. Because Paradise Lost, but they reference this. So there's literary references in there. The conversation itself, if we're doing an actual talk, right? We're trying to say something real. I'm going to swear. What the fuck are you talking about, Jeffrey? Is it take money from this person, that person? Oh, it's not mathematics, it's science, it's philanthropy, it's this. But doing the gesture, and then he says at a point he does a prayer and a point, right? So there's a meta level of communication, right? And he
clapped.
Yeah. And so I'm starting another academic project. Anybody wants to spend $150 to buy a particular academic book I worked on gestural analysis and conversation. So I've actually studied, and I came up with a metric to look at gestural analysis of different layers of meaning and meta meaning, right, in conversation. That's why I'm kind of keyed into this. But so in this conversation, the actual meaning is the meta meaning, right? It's like a film. The hidden subliminal images are what's actually being communicated, right? On the surface is this, right? So what is he actually saying? I mean, obviously, sorry. Okay. Hey, Satan, go away.
What is he actually saying?
I was kidding.
What is he? She answers.
Do you have a mirror there?
I have a mirror. No, please. Maybe I'm on there. So, but I mean, dude, it's fascinating though, right? The way he does this, and then he just non sequiturs. He brings up Milton, and he goes to this. Oh, I heard that in a movie once. Like
the American Dharma is a movie by Errol Morris about Bannon.
Oh, really?
He's making a little inside joke. These are inside jokes with him. No, but I saw that in a movie once. He points at Bannon. He saw the movie. He knows enough about Bannon to watch that Errol Moore, very famous guy, by the way, Errol Morris, who's done stuff on like mind control and things like that. But he knows enough to like say he remembers hearing Bannon probably say it from that documentary.
But this created the MAGA movement, right? The mythology. I mean, Charlottesville, people that weren't there, right? That's kind of when I got it. You know, it was like little, and actually much sort of hotter edge, right? For some of the un-PC stuff, right? So Charlottesville going into the, you know, January 20th, you know, whatever thing, and all the people arrested. This created the weight of the mythology. And guess what? At that time, man, you know, Trump was giving these speeches on. You could find them on like AM radio. I drive around the country, you hear these AM radio speeches that were like really good, actually, like pretty, you know, kind of like epic hours and hours of speeches, like after, you know, the election, this, that, even before, I mean, sorry, after 2020 and all this stuff created this whole weight, right, for the presidency.
Yeah.
And then it became what? It became American Empire, we rule the world. Yeah, MAGA is great. I mean,
Now it's merging with Israel. American Empire, Israel Empire.
Yeah, put on the black. Let's wear the black cube. All right.
Yeah, wear the black cube on your head, like wrap yourself. Yeah.
But the devil's Trump, man. Trump is like the devil's Trump. You know, you see that Book of Revelation, right? He is there, set up, same criminal network, the Roy Cohn, New York City Mafia, the real estate mafia, Bronfman family, this, that. I mean, straight up, and being created as a mythological figure. And I think that's why the Paradise Lost metaphor has relevance or weight, because, you know, they're also communicating to the insiders, like what's going on.
Right. Good point. I think that it's a very profound final statement of this 2 hours. They're exchanging stuff about devil worship. I think that he's saying he can communicate with spirits through scrying mirrors, and that their inside joke is that he saw this whole thing about ruling. He didn't want to rule in heaven, so they're identifying with Lucifer. That's my take. So
it's funny that they always go for Paradise Lost, and you know, like, why is that the canon? Why, you know?
I know when you said Paradise Lost, I thought you were talking about the West Memphis 3, but maybe that's the inside joke of the title of that documentary.
Probably
is that's it. 1993. When did it come out? 96. Probably they're like, you know, Luciferian reference of like that's what people like. It's like people who read Paradise Lost not for the religious like Christian ethos, but they're like identify with this bad guy. You know, this is why I read it.
Like carving a star in their chest and whatever.
Yeah.
Give us the two answers. What the one answer
that I know in my case,
is your money dirty money?
If you live.
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
No, it's not.
Blinks too. Like if you want to talk about body language, when you blink a lot when you're talking, you're lying. Like it's a known tell. Like blink rate goes up.
In fact,
why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it.
But you earned it.
I earned it legally.
We went back to this before. You earned it. You earned it.
He actually just nods like sideways too. That's another body language tell, is like doing this. I earned it. And he's saying to himself, actually, I didn't. I actually was given it some other.
Advising the worst people in the world.
Duper's delight, correct.
That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money.
So
listen to that statement again from Bannon.
And understanding.
Advising the worst people in the world to make more money. Those are like huge statements, because that's exactly what Epstein was doing. He was communicating with like the biggest freaking scoundrels on earth. And he admits it in this. We could do a whole nother show on this. But like when he admits like he's hanging out with David Rockefeller, like these are huge. This is Rockefeller's behind like the Bush family, like the power behind the throne.
Should they take your money?
Derek Bach at Harvard said, taking money for good causes is a good thing.
So if Hitler took all the gold out of the teeth of the Jews and said, I want to give this to Heidelberg University to fund the Leibniz chairs so that I can study high energy physics, Derek Bach would say that was fine.
So what you reminded,
Again,
this is Eric's. So you want to look at hypnotic and also meta communication, right? So these are very random questions, right? And the way he does, oh, Derek Bach or Eric Bach at Harvard, like what does that have to do with the question, right? It's a direct point. Okay. You know what I mean? Like these are not complex questions really, right?
Yeah.
They're really, I mean, okay, if you want to you can make it complicated if you don't have morality, if you don't have an ethical compass, if you're not connected with creation and what truth is and reality is. I'll leave that there. But they're not complicated questions really, but it's like, okay, whatever. Who is Eric Bach at Harvard? You know who he is? Well, because I think that's an important reference. So that's what I'm saying. These meta. Then he goes to this thing about gold teeth, and some, which is most likely a, propaganda, bullshit story. I hate to say, who knows what he's talking about. And he's going to Heidelberg University, and then he's talking about particle physics that ties into CERN. Right. So all these things are being juxtaposed. So it's very fascinating. Like this is almost like high adept occult language for the masses as they work a spell, invisible hypnotic web.
It's funny, but like it all comes down to would people take money? Yes. And he's like, is morals relative in these people? Yes. Like doesn't matter where the money comes from, they would take it. And he's given all these other reasons why. Oh, that's fine. The worst people, yeah, they'll take money. Yeah, that he just says that's straight up. That's like the law of nature. Yes, people work for themselves. All people are satanic, even the mothers that have kids that need vaccines, like they all work for themselves, and that's what he's saying. And in the end, he's like, yeah, I got a mirror. I look out for number one. Anyway, that's my interpretation.
But he inverts it though, because he says the mothers in India so there was, I don't know if this particular thing, but there were vaccinations that were given to mothers that the kids had birth defects. So that's another inversionary level, right? They got certain vaccines. He's not talking about the mothers being thankful that their children are vaccinated. The mothers were thankful they were vaccinated for their kids and their kids that had friggin' birth defects. So I mean this is discourse, and these are billionaires. They're not just some dude sitting in his friggin' basement like me. These are people with power and wealth that run the world supposedly. So we owe their discourse some critical reasoning, right? In terms of what are you actually talking about when you're jumping from one thing to another. So now you're talking about extracting teeth from, people waiting to go in the Zyklon B gas chamber, and you're going to build a high particle physics, reactor out of people's gold teeth. So that in itself is a total non sequitur. Right? I mean, seriously. I mean, he's saying
the particle accelerator actually produces gold. It makes gold in very small amounts instead of like feeding gold into it. It makes gold.
Yeah, I don't mean to go too far afield on this, but I just to pull it apart. Like, notice these weird inversionary non sequiturs, right? Like, so. Anyways, it's fascinating, man. I mean, Bannon is saying we're both high adepts. We're both high, as you said.
I think that's what he's saying. I think
we're both high adepts, and we're going to cast our spell. And
we're alchemists. The whole mirror thing is alchemy too. It's all.
And let's create the alchemy of MAGA.
And so they're talking to each other with these word forms and concepts that the average person wouldn't get at first take. Like when I watched this first, I would not have even. I just passed through it just like Bannon, or maybe it's an insider.
Questions where good people on both sides, like your Charlottesville, could differ. I don't know the answer to
So,
these
so
questions.
tell us the two. Give us the two answers. What the one answer why it shouldn't be, and then the one answer. Derek Bach says, "I'll essentially take cash from anybody because I got so many projects, so many good guys, and this is the way I'll do it. So I'm indifferent to where the cash comes from. Money's money, and if I got good guys, I'm the fiduciary that says these are good people and this is good research. Okay, I'll take the cash from any source, including you." What's the other argument?
Let me give you that. I know in my case,
Is your money dirty money?
if you live,
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
no, it's not. So in fact,
Why is it not dirty money?
because I earned it.
But you earned it.
I earned it legally.
We went back to this before. You earned
Yes.
it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things.
These are huge admissions. You earned it, just, giving something to the worst people in the world, doing the worst things. This guy's a central figure in the freaking vampire underground, global vampire underground or something. The global octopus, as Charlie Robinson would say.
And just to make more money.
So instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question.
Do you think it's a legitimate question?
Yes, no
Why?
question. Because I think ethics is always a complicated subject, but I can tell you that with the money I gave to help try to eradicate polio in Pakistan and India.
Right, but that's what you're saying, right, Hans, is that these shots actually did the opposite, right? They made people
birth
sick.
defects. Birth defects. They were, that's like the polio thing. Well, this is, remember the United States, the polio vaccine. How, all the
SV40, right?
Yeah. So this is
This is part of the evil. Like, oh yeah, see, I'm a good guy, but I'm actually poisoning the living crap out of people in Pakistan, right? The duality.
Bill Gates.
These
does it
guys
all
are
the time,
these
too.
guys are evil. They're all Bannon and Gates, and these guys are all part of the Epstein network.
Instead of asking me whether that money should be given to these children for vaccines, I think you might want to ask their mothers who received the vaccine, who know their child now won't get polio.
Yeah, dude, the child has birth defects, so the child won't get a lot of things. I mean, this is pretty whack.
These are guys with the inside information. There was documents or emails within the Epstein files where he's talking to this Wolf guy who's a key component of one of the companies called Metabiota, and they're like, let's get together and plot together. Like they're literally plotting before. This literally took place before COVID broke out. It's just extraordinary timing.
Ask them if Epstein should have helped these people.
If we
with
walked
their
in,
money.
if we walked in, you're
is
a
that a fair
mathematician.
question?
You're a mathematician. If we walked in,
Derek Bach, by the way, is the head of Harvard from 1971 to 1991, and then had the position. So he was also the dean of the Harvard Law School. The guy's pretty much of an academic superstar.
to that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
The lowest?
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you
See,
told them,
the
if I told them
100%.
the devil
himself
said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for you.
Okay, so William, just the analysis, right? So this is where you look at this weird little random, they kind of jump back and forth, right? Random things, and then he goes, devil himself, right? So this is kind of interesting, right? This little short exchange, if you go back just a few seconds, and notice how they just jump, positional points, standpoints, all this stuff. This is quite, yeah.
Where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier one's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
The lowest?
I'm the lowest.
You're
yes.
the lowest. Okay, tier one, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you
See,
told them,
if
I told them the devil,
100%.
the devil
Himself.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
Takes a minute, blinks.
No, but I do have a good mirror.
No, but I do have a good mirror. This guy's an alchemist, man. This is very occult to me, man. I'm not trying to make that up. I'm saying something. This is like, it's either me or he's communicating with spirits. And there are tons of like mirrors in Twin Peaks. It's like a common theme. And it's all about alchemy and transformation and seeing into the darker self and all that stuff. That's why people have mirrors.
Doesn't the rapist dad look in the mirror and see Bob? Like his face turns into Bob, and then he goes in there and he harms his daughter.
Yeah, no, it's like it's really deep. It's like deep usage. Portals, revelation of evil, especially Bob. Mirrors often expose malevolent forces. Bob, the demonic entity, is strongly associated with reflections. Jeff is smart enough to know that. He knows what's going on. He either thinks of himself in the mirror as a demon or he's in communication with Satan. That's what they're talking about this whole 5 minutes.
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is somebody knows
smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's.
Do you see that he raised his? Do you think you're the devil? And he raised his left hand, like, oh, and he puts it behind his ear, like, what? Like, it's the left hand path, you know.
He wants to hear it louder. Like, what? Say it again.
Yeah.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is Satan.
So if he says the devil scares him, he believes that something like that may exist, right? It's like, oh, that's a point. It's not. He didn't say, oh, it's a fairy tale or it's some kind of Christian myth.
He is at the number 1 or 2 archangel. And the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once.
So notice
American Dharma.
So he's got this like power circle, right? He's generating this. He's moving that around. Then he points, right? It's a left hand, right? Is he pointing to left or right? I saw that in a movie once, and you know, so that's. I mean, right there, you know, they are linking, you know, whatever power it has. But I mean, a lot of people probably watched this. I mean, it was also a cover for Trump, but it was also, I mean, this, like, did he actually help starving people? What did his charity
I never saw anything altruistic about him.
No, let's give some birth defects to like poor people in Pakistan, and the mother will then maybe they don't have to take care of a child. Is that? I mean,
it was funny when he was
a philanthropath. Yeah,
when he was saying the lowest level, he like put his hand up and then raised it higher. The lowest level up here. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it's the truth like wills out. It just it oozes out of him. He can't hold it. The blinking, like, are you the devil or whatever? He was blinking and rolling his eyes and blinking, like,
he's finding some kind of joy in being compared to it, right? He doesn't feel nervous or retracts into himself or something. He's like laughing, and then we're done.
Another thing is that in the hierarchy of evil, they're all afraid of the devil. Like all the lower demons are afraid of the big guy. So he's just saying, yeah, I'm in the hierarchy. I'm afraid of the boss, like what? Anyway. Right.
He's been doing the devil's work for decades.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. That the money came from them. What?
But I think he says like it's time to go. It's like he's the one who initiates.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel. And the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Okay.
Yes, so he's the one who's wrapping it up.
And the clap,
the hypnotic thing, yeah.
The clap is a closure. It's a
Yes.
sealing. He's doing an energetic sealing. It's a ritual
Yes, he
sealing.
is. Yes,
he does
he
a
knows
prayer mudra, right? He does that. He's like, I saw that in a movie once. Boom. And so that's
It's him. Wow.
Forgot.
It's even more interesting.
because there's
And
no.
we're done.
What does that even
I
mean?
think if you
Like, what does that mean? Except you
serious
say the movie's about Brightburn, right? So he's like, I take it, I sealed, and working is done. I'll walk away. Yeah, no, we can all do that. You know, seriously, like you're not
No, but
normally
I
going
have
to
a
do
good
these
mirror.
kind of gestures when you're talking. You know,
No, but I have a good mirror. That means that he has. See, and then nobody describes a mirror as a good mirror. What he's saying is he has something that he uses. So he has a quality mirror that he's looked into the past. That's my take. Because you just say no, but I have a mirror. But right, so he's like qualifying. He's putting a adjective on the specific mirror. Like it's another code type of word.
Question.
sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember the devil is
the
somebody
devil
knows
smart?
The devil's
Oh, the
brilliant.
devil's
You
smart?
You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
He's
No,
like
the
this
devil
to him
scares
too.
me.
He's literally
Satan is the
he's doing that same sign that we saw Black do. It's not just this. He's doing this to him. He's doing this weird thing with his fingers. Watch as he's pointing his front fingers.
he is at the number 1 or 2 archangel. And the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Okay. We have to go.
Okay, good. Okay, that was good.
he just closes it.
That smile
You
at
have
the
to
end.
do it.
He seals it. I saw that in a movie once, and that's like, wow.
It's the movie he knows. He knows the movie because it's the movie that is about Bannon. I'm pretty sure we went over this before, but this is just further stuff that he knows NLP. This is a Bannon 1 EFTA 016-15370. And he's done this. He's talking to him on Bill Mayer. He's on Bill Mayer, who's been to the island. That's like an even more interesting element of this exchange, which is it's dated September 2018. He's got to know Mayer's been to the island multiple times because Mayer's talked about it, and a lot of those texts and stuff were deleted. But here he's saying did you see me on Mayer? Let's see if I can find it. See me on the Mayer show. This is 2:29 a.m. So they're talking late at night. Yes, well done. This is Jeff. Only 1 5-minute round, though, not enough. I think your thoughts should be posed as questions rather as declarative statements. i.e., are you aware that Trump has added 10 trillion in value? Isn't it a fact that? Would you admit that? That's all NLP stuff. Right? Wouldn't you admit that's NLP, Sean? I just use NLP on you.
I was busy trying to find the commercial from the Batman movie, the first Tim Burton Batman movie, with the Joker selling Smilex. I'll share it. Like
Okay.
all I can think of is when he smiles like that. All I can think of is the Joker and
4.
here. Let's see if
Is this going to get a strike from YouTube?
yeah, it might actually. We'll just play it with. I'm gonna scroll through instead of playing,
That's good.
and then we'll see like, oh, these people, they die with a smile on their face, and we can. Let's see. Here we go. Look at that.
Wow, creepy.
Doesn't that remind you Jeffrey Epstein's smile there at the end?
Yeah, he has a Joker smile. He really does.
It's as if they designed it after this dude, you know, the way that, because it's not a normal, like flesh doesn't normally do that. Like, look at that, dude. But he definitely that's what Epstein's face looks like. It's like I couldn't get it out of my head. I had to go find it. So like you couldn't NLP me because my brain was distracted trying to find that.
No, he actually did NLP you. That's the whole point. And this goes back to the father of NLP, Milton Erickson, going
Right.
back to where we started this a year ago, right?
Right.
Almost a year ago. 1 year
We
of my
started
life.
in August.
And
We've done tons of shows since August, almost every weekend since August. It's like we're June 7th.
It's
We're
pretty
about
awesome.
to be at like the year.
we should get married. All of us.
I live in California. Everybody has like a wife and a husband here. So
I'm just kidding.
I would just be totally.
I'm
normal.
already.
Well, then we could go and fight for
could
podcast
say, like, I have-
marriage rights.
Yeah,
Maybe-
I really could say I have to consult with my wife and husband. It's actually true.
Maybe we get funding. We can get.
I get funded by the Epstein. I could call Kushner.
Yeah,
Kushner's the
Kushner.
next guy. You know.
We go to the island. We'll get a special tunnel.
Yeah. Hands on. Let's go.
Here's our remunerated tunnel. But no, I mean the thing is like this level, of encoding, right? The thing is, it's very natural for them. Okay, there's layers of discourse, and you can see Bannon though kind of stumbles. Obviously, that Paradise Lost thing is probably written out. He's supposed to mention it, but you see how he stumbles, right? That devil thing. And I do recommend, man. I'll go grab the copy of the book. It's actually it's really cool. It's like awesome to read. Definitely pick it up and actually read a hard copy. I don't know why I read that yesterday, just a random thing, but there, he's saying he's like, they say the devil is like the most powerful archangel. He's like, oh, really? He's like, and he's like, oh, he tried to rule. Oh, really? Oh, I saw that in a movie once, bro.
American Dharma. Oh,
We're done.
you. Oh.
Boom. Clap. Ritual's over. Boom.
Yeah.
Go dissolve in
2
the
hours.
smoke. Go back to your hole, goy.
Yeah.
Bannon. Useful shaman.
Attaboy.
Go back to your goy hole. We'll give you some trinkets. We'll
When he
give you
talks-
some.
You're going hold.
See, that's the way he talks to Bannon, like a dog. Like, attaboy. Good boy, attaboy. Okay, we're done.
He does. He does.
He does. He literally talks to him like he's like a freaking lapdog. Guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. I've had
Sorry.
a long day. I think for me, I don't know if you guys want to keep going, but I think that's a good place to end. Getting that feeling.
Yeah, we're good. That would be it. It's really it's great that we can look at all these different angles and how we've spent so much time over the past year looking at the mind control and the societal levels of mind control and the hardwired mind control of the Manchurian Candidate and the trauma-based reality of existence. And then now we can see the psychology of the psychopaths who are ruling us, and the art that they like to see, and how this relates to everything that we are living in, this soup of Satanism. It's really it really helps to give us a lot of time. We've had a lot of time to really describe the whole picture, and I'm glad that we can have that, we can keep going with that.
It's interesting how it's the kind of initial stuff on the Manchurian Candidate, fiction to fact, the stuff that we've learned has morphed into Epstein, and like some of the stuff the NLP stuff I may not have seen, or we may not have seen. So it's almost like kismet or something, like there's some kind of anticipation where these guys are doing it. They know that stuff. They're talking to each other. So like this mix of like mind control, Satanism, occultism is really
It's the
excellent.
it's the main nerve. It's like we've got it. We hit the main nerve, and now we can't let go because it's like really the real thing that everybody should be talking about.
And if people remember when we started, we did all this background stuff on the author of Manchurian Candidate, who modeled his nefarious character, the mother of the main character of Manchurian Candidate, as none other than Roy Cohn,
Trump's mentor.
Trump's mentor.
It's all one big evil soup. Right?
It is. Hey, chat, what do you guys think in the chat? Well, there's 225 live listeners. Thanks for listening, everybody. What do you guys think? Do you guys chime in? What is your take on that last 5 minutes of the 2-hour ban? And do you think there's something there? Do you think the mirror reference is fake? Do you think that they covered all that Satanism stuff because it just randomly came up, or they intentionally went there because they're both into that occultism stuff? That's my take, is that they're riffing off of each other. So I think it's something a lot more profound than maybe seen at the first glance or the first viewing. It's the clapping and the hand gestures and all that stuff. It's like, let's cover this. Yeah, Mirror Ref is on ports. Thanks, Johnny. You were here from the beginning, so thanks for listening, Johnny.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, see, you know, as we know now, right? At the time, no one would have known unless they had, you know, their work for the FBI or something, or they were going to Epstein's Island, that what kind of stuff they were doing, right? So this guy's harvesting massive amounts of energy, thousands and thousands of women, you know, either directly or associationally, right? Including probably murder and sacrifice and all this stuff, and doing this stuff all day, every day, nonstop. Like just banging that on, plus whatever else he's doing. So when he makes these gestures, they have some weight, right? And they don't need to show off, right? In fact, so there's sort of a gathering and a disbursement of energy, I think, going on there within that. You could say it's nothing, but I mean, why would Bannon? Because honestly, like I know Bannon was like, you know, the kind of MAGA guy, and I know supposedly people say he got assassinated because he made some speech, whatever. I never really got that much into Steve Bannon, but that interview was like, oh, Jeffrey, can you hit this? Let me just throw it like that. Oh no, okay, let's throw it from here. We'll do slow motion. Can you hit the balls this big? Can you hit it with a giant bat? Oh, okay, I got it. You know what I mean? Talk about the most non-threatening interview. And then the hardball question: are you a criminal? You're a class 1 sexual predator? That's the worst. No, that's actually the least.
But they'll take my money because they'll take money from the devil. So I think that's what they're trying to proffer to the people, is like, you'll still take my money because I'm a philanthropy guy, right? So even though I'm convicted, everybody knows that. But
it's like, it's a question, but are you actually doing philanthropy? You don't know. You know what I mean? Are you doing anything to help anybody? No. Rockefeller and Kissinger, what is that? That is Club of Rome, right? Eugenics. This is eugenics. This is, Kissinger's famous quote about whoever, I forget exactly, whoever basically controls the money, the food, water, depopulation, Club of Rome, Gates family going back, same people.
Overthrowing Chile, Kissinger's right there at the original September 11th, 1973. Shock doctrine. I mean, all kinds of heavy duty stuff, guys. Really heavy stuff, like overthrowing nation stuff.
Right.
We could do a whole nother show. We could go, I can send you that 2 hours, because he's telling Bannon the people with the money are the real politicians. The oligarchs are the ones who are running everything. And that's what he learned from David Rockefeller and Kissinger. So he's like, he's telling you that he's kind of showing the audience that he's one of those types of people with all the money who's running these politicians and the culture and things like that.
But he said you're a mathematician. What you gotta be? We had like a high school degree in mathematics. But you don't like probabilities. What? This all algorithmic programming is probabilities. So there's so much double speak, but again, like, these are very powerful. This is influencing all the data centers. This is the womb of these data centers, right? The AI womb, these 5,000, 6,000, however many data centers in the United States. This is where it's coming from. You know what I mean? Like, this is direct impact on our actionability as human agents. Hopefully I don't have to. I'll become the witch finder. I'll be the witch finder general, man. Mouse. I'll go. Oh, God, they're gonna take me out. I'm gonna go out big, man.
I can hear the electric wizard song, I Witch Finder in my head, like all,
Darn it.
heavy. Yeah, real
Dun,
heavy.
dun. That's
Witch
that
Finder.
is a great. That's great. That's a Black Sabbath song I definitely like. The
Well,
Wizard.
yeah. Oh, the Wizard. Well, I was talking about I Witch Finder. Electric Wizard is a song by Black Sabbath, but then Electric Wizard is a band that took that name, and they did a song about the Witchfinder General, and it's pretty good. Anyway, it's a deep drone doom, very very metal. Did we get any answers or questions? I mean,
I tried to post them. I mean, we can go. Jeff says the analysis of the video was awesome. My hands was on fire. Let's see. Maybe Bart says maybe Epstein banning conversation was a revelation of the method. I think that's a good point. I think it was. I think they were just showing a lot of mirrors or minors. That's a funny statement. Good point. I think mirrors, but they probably said off tape minors. Wouldn't be a surprise to me. But yeah, some people nudge. I think that they were kind of in agreements. They were saying something esoteric or inside baseball or something like that.
Right.
It's hard to kind of go through all this.
Twilight
This
language.
band had a lot of insider knowledge. It seemed like colleagues. Yeah, I think you're right. There is a, I mean, it's a bit of a tell, but there is a framed picture of Bannon somewhere on one of Jeff's desks. So they're close. Bannon earned enough repute with Jeff to earn a framed picture on his bachelor lifestyle or whatever.
What did he have to do in the robes? You know what I mean, to get that level.
Two witnesses, one faithful spirit. Epstein is an alchemist, Kabbalah practicing Jewish mystic. I think you're right. I think that is true. I think Johnny I already mentioned.
He's at least doing the tantra sex magic crap,
Yeah, we've proved that in the books, right? So we had those kind of very heavy occult books,
right?
That we did, and Hans talked about tantra. I forgot the author, but I have that guy on one of my old hard drives. He is a creepy guy. I forgot the name of the guy who did the tantra book, but he's super intense, like OTO member, man, like the highest initiate.
Well, just to say, like, so, the Kabbalah and all the different iterations again, oral tradition, this is ancient, maybe I should might as well do it. I've got, please subscribe to my shows so I don't feel like I'm like voice in the wilderness. I'm like my dog's a Samoyed. He's super cute. Like, you want to watch my video again? Let's get one more view. Give it a like. Can you do it? Can you touch the laptop? Like, no, he knocked the laptop over. No, but
you mind control your own dog, man.
No, he likes
us mind control.
At least I give him a treat, man.
There you go. Okay.
But
are you the devil giving people treats? Like, never mind.
Somebody Sneed says Kushner is a perfect example of physiognomy. You can see the contempt and arrogance that his soul swims. My new thing for Kushner is a detransitioned tranny. That's what he looks like to me. So he transitioned to a woman and then transitioned back to a man. So a detransitioned dude is what Kushner looks like to me.
Maybe he's like a reptile underneath, and it's just like smooth, like like a Barbie doll or something.
He's in the Epstein network, dude. There's pictures of him with Black and all these characters. They're all around there, and it's very grotesque.
He was probably gifted the wife of the daughter of Trump. It was probably a gift, just like how George H.W. Bush was given Crowley's daughter to breed with for his wife, and then George W. is like a descendant of Crowley, if you believe the whole story of Barbara Bush's mom, whatever her name was.
I think you're right, because one of the interesting aspects of this whole Suzanne Albanian Island thing is how obtuse she was in revealing her story. Like, she was telling it to the public, like, this is such a lovely story about us and our new investments and how we're just building this thing out of our goodwill. without even having the concept that, like, we know what went on at the Little St. James. You're trafficking thousands of kids. Like, one of the victims said she was raped 3 times a day. So, like, why would you go in public and like get some kind of like journalist who I'd never seen before and then talk about it? Like, wow, like, how's this going to play? It didn't play off well at all.
Kind of like Melania saying, I was not part of Epstein. I'm not. Oh, and she has press conference for no reason, you know, like, it's very odd. They do odd things when they're a worm on the hook and we can see them, you know what I mean? When they're watching them squirm.
Sorry, I went on a tangent in my rant about my dog watching my podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Watch it again, boy. No, we better watch it. You get a treat. Okay. No, but so Kabbalah and all the various names, again, this is a very, very ancient knowledge system that came through various streams. The primary holders of this particular technology, you could say, is within this Kabbalist, but it's based on logos, the word, emanation of word, letter, numerology as functional codes of the universe and different things. So they're quite powerful. But one of the big thing in Kabbalah is the inversion and changing words around, changing word meanings, and different layered types of meanings, and then also basically described as the ascension doctrine, right? So it's you look at the Zohar and stuff. It's almost like a science fiction novel with all these different planetary systems and all. It's very complex and all different kind of outer space stuff going on, but it's primarily based on letter, word magic, manifestation, casting spells, and using very subtle combinations of these things in large scale esoteric systems, right? At large scale esoteric that are exoteric, meaning that they can be absolutely material. They can be manifest. It may seem like some obscure occult thing. No, it's very direct, right? It has a direct impact. It's a particular organization. It's this organizational structure, but still using some of this letter coding and numbering, right? So I want to say when you talk about its mystical system, letter, word magic, numerology, etc. But it's very practical. You can do it directly actionable in material plane. Like, okay, I'm a separate organization called this. This organization has this color. We'll use this kind of letter magic. We'll get this particular funding. We'll create this type of conflict between these two different groups. And it's still the esoteric overlays there, but actually direct, fully actionable political, social consequences, or you know what I mean? So it's not like just ritual, this and that, but actually directly impacting reality itself, whether through political levels, is it making sense? Hopefully,
right.
Through political levels, symbolic levels, archetypal levels, and occult levels. So this is what Epstein kind of covered in that little weird alchemical spiel, right? So, but the occult level is there, but it's also very directly actionable in material terms, which is not separate from the esoteric aspects. That makes sense. You can encode the same procedures in real-time political action or whatever it may be.
Maybe that's
totally makes sense to me. I mean, it's just that they're operating on different levels. That's their fun. That's kind of what's keeping them amused in their exchange is like, who knows what they do in the background? Like, I mean, God only knows. That's the whole thing is like a lot of these guys on the occult, they like log roll for each other in public. You don't even know. That's the whole weird thing. Like he's on Mayor too. Like imagine what that's like. Bannon goes on Mayor while he's Bill Maher.
Yeah.
And he's chatting with Epstein, and they're both connected to the network. Like Mars connected to the network. There's no question about it. Still is.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway.
I just wanted to read this one. Lizzie490 said, Barbara Bush's mother, Pauline, after the internet speculation on her sex magic with Crowley, her Wikipedia page was removed. Most information on her was scrubbed. That's interesting.
Surprised Pauline Pierce.
But that kind of, they don't do that unless it's really true. So,
right. What's the family name is like related to a huge investment company. I forgot what it was.
So this person, Bo Boo's Roo, saying Ivana wears a red string. That's on the left hand. That's a Kabbalistic thing. So did Wexner in his testimony in front of Congress. So I think that's another one of those symbols, like I'm in the club, and I don't know what it means. I'm not in the club, so I can't say. But Hans, do you know about the red string? Like, what's his name wears one? Tucker Carlson has one. Madonna wears one. Like,
it's a type of initiatory level, right? So it represents initiatory level and also level of type of protection, symbolic connection with the particular level of the practice. And again, like most of this, it's not written, right? A lot of the magical practices, but yeah, it's so esoteric and complex, and it really, if you go into it, we have a lot of ancient type of cosmological type of things, and but again, it comes down to basic. You're taking the letter number combination, letter number color word, and you're relating these energetic polarities, male, female, Sephiroth. Okay, you can use it to traverse to some high, become Adam Kadam, the universal man, God, right? And basically, again, people don't know, in the Kabbalah, Ein Sof is God. Ein Sof is what? It's the crawling chaos in H.P. Lovecraft, right? God is insentient, just, blah, just everything, just chaos, void, manifesting out of void, like black hole. The man must take reign of creation, must own and control all of creation, all of matter, genetic modification, AI control grid, total control, right? This is how you become the living God, is becoming God by, you know what I mean? So we can see that. But anyways, again, just to understand that, so there's it's not like there's type of spiritual practices or prayer. You're not, maybe you go give someone a piece of bread or something, but you're doing like a spiritual practice. This is like, okay, I'm doing this, and then I'm going to set up these chains of organizations, and I'll create all these. It relates directly to social cultural control, manipulation, agency, and direct material outputs, as well as all these complex esoteric anagrams, language manipulation, and reversals, hidden meanings. Right? You have juxtaposed meanings, right? You have, layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 layers of meaning. So it's quite a, again, these are, everything in creation obeys laws of mathematics and all this stuff, right? But you manipulate things, it's a hack. So, okay, that was a little rant on Kabbalah, at least my armchair view. But so, yeah, but the red thread means it's initiatory. I think it represents a connection with a goddess, right? Or the female goddess energies.
Tanit or whatever, right? And it's like the hangers-on level of the Hell's Angels. Like they buy the T-shirts and they fucking bring their money, But it's not like it's not some priest or whatever the hell. That's good. So Madonna's a hanger-on, and so is Tucker.
The recent one, when he was on with Sean Stone, my understanding is both of them admitted to being Masons.
Right. But then, that's like if you're if you can prove that you can keep a secret, I think that's what that whole thing is like, can you prove you, and then you get tapped on the shoulder, and then everybody else gets their people from the Masons, like just like how the larger cult of Satanism gets their satanic worker bees from the Levian cult. They use them as an aggregator, finding all the psychopaths, and so it's like aggregating all the people that can keep a secret and will like be loyal to their brothers instead of their wife, or like not real brother, but like a fake brother, anyway.
Right. I mean, Tucker's secret society connections are not really disputed, guys. Pilgrim Society.
Right. Pilgrim, Jesus, that's like the top of the heap, right?
It sure is. It sure is. There's Kissinger and every ambassador to the Court of St. James and every ambassador to the United States hangs out there. So he's not slumming with the hoi polloi. He never has, actually. I don't think he's ever like cooked food for himself in his life. He's a silver spoon kid.
He used to wear bow ties, didn't he?
Right. Yeah. I mean, there was a funny thing. He went to Russia. One of the tells for me was he went to Russia and he went to a shopping mall and he's like, guys, they've got these carts and you stick a quarter in there and you can unplug it and you can take that cart around the shopping market.
You ever been to Aldi, dude?
Yeah. No, he had never been to a freaking shopping mall.
That's
like
the whole
thing. It's like George Bush at the like checkout line. Wow, this thing scans the food. Oh my God. Do you remember that from George Bush Sr.? He had no idea.
Yeah, and their main king guy doesn't even squeeze the toothpaste onto his brush,
Right,
I'm surprised he even holds the brush while it's being
He may not even wipe his ass now.
Well, no, they got the groom of the stool.
Groom of the stool checks out King Charles II's grunts. Oh, my king, excellent work. There's I think I showed you guys the clip where he wouldn't even move the ink from his pen. Yeah. He's like, get over here. Move this stuff for me. Peasant.
Yeah.
Don't you know who I am? All right.
It's probably because it's all poisoned, right? Everything's poisoned.
Well, I mean,
paranoia, right?
I mean, I guess I just have a very different lifestyle from that. But it's like you have all this money wealth. Like, what are you going to just do? I mean, is this, you want to do evil with your life? I mean, you just want to abuse people? You want to live like a bitch? You can't even lift up your own pen? Like, be a man, dude. I'm sorry. I mean, what? I just find it like, it's really, there's such a weakness of character of these people. They're morally weak. They're spiritually weak. They're spiritual friggin' worms, man. I'm crawling out of my goy hole and I'm going to crush them. Yeah. No, I was kidding.
That's what Epstein said in jail. I'm a coward. I'm Jewish. I'm a coward. Like he keeps saying that over and over. Like, I would never kill myself. I'm a coward.
He's afraid of the devil, so he does.
He's afraid. It might be him. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, he's dead, so be careful, right? Just like what Gates says, like, well, he's dead. So
you don't want to summon Jeffrey Epstein from the grave while the Epstein's a haunting. You don't want to. No, but I mean, it's just like this. Again, like, but they encode, they steal away our true potential, right? Maybe maybe you shop at Aldi's, man. Maybe you don't even have a quarter for a shopping cart, but when you get that quarter, you're like, hell yeah, I got a shopping cart. There you go. Like, no, I mean, it's the real people have a richness of life, right? Technically, that these people can never get with all their evil and all their depravity and all their excess. But if you voluntarily lose that, as most people have, then, you know what I mean? So then that's the feeding off the carcass of humanity. That's what pornography is, right? And you mentioned pornography. I'm sure you guys have probably done shows on this. All the occult stuff, demonic ritual stuff, and demonic portholes. People are watching pornography, doing chaos magic, wanking their thing, and then we just did this ritual during this porn video, so now the little demonic entity's gonna pop right
A
in
lot
your
of the porn
thing.
stars are occultists, and a lot of the producers too.
Yeah, there's a director that he did the Tracy Lords. He brought Tracy Lords into the world, and he was black magic magician. Like I've got files. Like I was gonna do a show about it before, and I was like, this is too obscure and weird, and should ever But I can maybe bring some stuff to you guys, and we can talk about, because while the victim of this mind control, they are in the act of bringing up their kundalini and squirting it out, so it is sex magic. And if they can access the mind while the dopamine hit is happening, it's like they got hypnosis porn where like just this woman voice talking to you, like blah blah blah, just words. And it's next level of it's jacking into the brain while it's getting the dopamine.
Well, there's a recent job offer that I saw, is that it's a wellness application, right? And they're doing a daily masturbation session, and if you become a trial for that, you get $2,000 a month. And you have to listen to it.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, the wellness app. But I mean, is that wellness? Let's dispel your vital seed.
It's funny that Tracy Twyman did a book called Genuflect, where it was like loosely based on the guy who was mayor of New York, Bloomberg. He bought this building, which it has a Mithraic temple, and that's real. It's like a Mithraic temple in London. And he bought this building, and she like kind of put his character into the book, and the building runs on like body fluids. Like people are encouraged to go and like put their wang in a tube and like get one off while they're at work, but really it's being collected for like this big mass mega ritual stuff.
Are you kidding?
It's really good.
That's real? It's not a movie?
No, it's a book it's not real. But the real thing is he did buy the Mithraeum and the building around it in the city of London, and he cleaned up the thing down, so it's like you can go down in the Mithraeum and you can do whatever, and it's like a big shrine inside of this building that he bought, and she just used that as her to go further with this. It was really funny. But yeah, the building runs on the bodily fluids of the workers, and but it's like draining off of them their like actual physical loosh, you know what I mean? And that powers the lights of the building, and like it's this new like the next level of green energy. Like sex magic. Anyway, it was really good, and I just want to bring that up. I thought it was funny.
I need to wrap it up, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's been too long, but thank you,
guys. Appreciate it.
William.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody should visit WilliamRamseyInvestigates.com.
Patreon too. William Ramsey Investigates. Post a lot there, ad free, so you can check out some stuff. I've got some stuff on the horizon, the near horizon, so you can check that out.
Awesome.
Post a lot of stuff that I don't post in public there too.
Good. That's great. Well, thank you for joining us, and sorry for taking so much of your time.
It's all good. No, we're good.
Yeah,
we made it 2.5 hours, guys. It's pretty.
That's great.
Where can people find you, Sean McCann and Hans?
The Resonant State podcast, BitChute, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and Donald Trump's personal web feed. If you ever hack it, he's one of my biggest fans. No, and then yeah, I think that's it. YouTube, BitChute, Spotify, Rumble, and on One Great Work Radio Network. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please support our work and these wonderful warriors of the spirit here. It will carry you through the end times. At least we're the three horsemen of the apocalypse.
It sure feels like we're accelerating there, guys. I mean, we haven't had the gas prices hit yet, but this election in LA that happened today was flat out stolen, man.
Oh,
They freaking stole it right from Pratt.
I didn't even know.
Wow, yeah, no, it
didn't
was
look.
like the likelihood of those votes. So there were three contenders: Bass, Pratt, and Nithya Raman. And the girl on the bottom received 25% or something of the votes, and he had 30, and the Bass had 35 or something. And then all these votes came in today, and the bottom runner got 40 or 30, 45% of those votes, the mail-in votes, which is very different than what the average was, like, of people actually voting. And she had enough to like become the second runner. So she elbowed basically Pratt out based upon this so-called thing. And then people are like, well, what's the likelihood of those small amount of votes with 40% going to her? Because they didn't go for Bass. That's the whole thing, is they omitted Bass. Like, there should be that same distribution roughly as what was reflected in the real vote, if that makes sense. So the likelihood of this Nithya Raman, somebody like ChatGPT or Grok calculated it as like point infinity one. Like, it's just not possible. There's just no way that all these people who decided to vote for this third runner, who she cried when she lost, the likelihood of them voting for her was like nil. It's just not even. It's not even statistically plausible. Like,
and the mail-in voting is so easy to fake.
Just incredibly easy.
Right.
So it's just a big scam. I mean, California is a third world country, man. It really is. It's really terrible. Like, the roads don't work, and they're run by idiots and super corrupt. And there's like an $80 billion train that runs to nowhere. Like, I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, it's just
That's
like
funny.
There's literally in Manteca in Central California, there is just like a bridge, and that's all they have to. That's all they have to show for it. Like, it's crazy.
But at least Bill Gates is going to help you guys out with his healing mosquitoes or alphabet, right? You got to be so that'll reduce the population at least.
This is the prompt. This is the prompt to ask Grok. What is the statistical likelihood that 40% of the votes from a new batch of ballots go to a candidate who received 24% of votes from all other batches that represented 95% of counted electorate? Give me the percentage odds. Response: extremely low, on the order of 1 in trillions or smaller. Effectively near zero under naive random model. Quick setup for calculation results. Expect Ramon votes in a 60,000 batch at 24%. Observe 14,000. Observe 24,000. 10,000 more than expected. The probability of this extreme outcome is less than zero. Numerically underflows to machine zero in standard libraries. It's -1. I mean, what they said. This is a 80 to 80. If you know statistics, you know how bad this is. This is an 80 to 85 sigma event.
Oh my god!
In context, a 5 sigma, a 5 sigma event is already a 1 in 3.5 million rarity. An 80 to 85 sigma event. I mean, it's just a clown show of that fraud.
Yeah, voting
so
is really.
bad. It's not even clever. Like, it's such bad fraud. It's just like, wow, so obvious.
Everybody better vote harder next time.
It's astronomically low. That's what Rock wrote. So anyway, we're sliding in there, guys. Good luck. Prep. Make sure you grow your own food.
Yeah, listen to Wake
And
the
don't
Dead.
believe the hype. Wake the Dead will help you. The Resonant State. You know, you want to definitely be resonant when the world turns to Mad Max.
Oh
outside
man,
the
I've
door.
got the supreme power secrets I'll share with you.
Yeah, you
Don't
got
worry.
supreme power.
Well, no, I
You'll
mean we
probably
all
be
do.
de-occulted by listening to those shows and
Yeah.
unhypnotized.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you'll slap the kind of like hypnotic trance everybody's in out.
Hopefully.
But thanks for listening, everybody. We had about 225, 250 listeners,
That's awesome.
and a lot of newer listeners. A lot of the algorithm actually, YouTube's kind of working for me. Like they actually recommend shows and things like that. So I had a lot of newer listeners without doing any advertising. So I guess the shows are the advertising. And I just did a 6-part show on Rasputin, his malignant influence and assassination
Dude, I have
by
to-
Yusupov. It's really good. And it shows, it kind of ties in with a lot of our stuff because it shows kind of occultism and Kabbalist stuff and hypnotism. The guy knew stuff, man. He knew magnetism. There's absolutely no question about it that he was using it on anybody he could. And he was like one of these old kind of persons who infiltrate the church. He wasn't really a Christian. He was something from like the old world of like paganism or something like that. Really interesting. So people check that out. But thanks for having me. Thanks, guys.
Right. Take care. God
All
bless
right,
you.
see
Good
guys.
night.
All right,
See you guys. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Peace, 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 peace.